And welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to another edition of Red Cup Rants. I'm your host, Dre. And I got three of my partners with me. Phil will be with us shortly. Mad Mike and the MVP. Boom. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
Can't
I'm
call it.
good. How y'all, man?
Can't call it. I'm in this quarantine, as you say. Ain't really been going nowhere. I think the highlight of my day was getting my truck an oil change. That was the highlight of my day. I don't know what y'all did. And I did a couple
I've been
push-ups and some
running
sit.
around the street butt ass naked, inviting this motherfucker to come after me. Come after me, goddammit. I wish a mother would.
Yeah, it's got everybody shook right now. But I went out today and I got some fresh air and I took a walk and I did some push-ups and it looked like a ghost town, man. It's crazy out here, man. It's
It,
crazy.
it
So
it is. It reminds me of going back home to Alabama in a small town of Lafayette, Alabama. Um, it's so small you probably wouldn't even know where it's at. But
is,
yeah,
is it one
man.
is it one of those is it one of those towns where it's got one
It's
stoplight and you miss it if you pass
that's
it?
it.
Yeah,
That's it, man. That's
yeah,
it, man. That was when my mom was born, and so it reminds me of this. I'm actually, I'm loving it. Like Dre, like me personally, I'm cool with it. I'm a
yeah,
city boy and I'm a country boy at the same time. Like I spend all my time like summers in Alabama all the time, so it's like it's second nature. It's good for me. I'm at home. How
yeah.
about you, Boom?
I'm working, so I just vacation.
Yeah, I go back tomorrow, so it's going to be a long week. So I mean, it's a serious matter, but we shouldn't live in fear either. We should take the precautions that we can, but we shouldn't live in fear either. This will all blow
Hmm.
over, and while this is going on, we're here to give you an outlet to kind of use our platform to kind of let you take a break from the monotony and the norm, and
Yep.
talk about the things that we love and talk about the things that makes us happy. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I know we kind of talked about it last week, but it was a couple more things going on. We hit start with the NFL free agents. Start with the big news today. Uh,
Oh.
big news today. The Cam Newton got released by Carolina. I kind of saw this coming when they signed Bridgewater to that contract. Cam said he's healthy and he's ready to get another chance. Did you guys see that coming? I mean, I kind of did and I kind of didn't, but you say it all the time, Mike. The NFL is a business. Sometimes you gotta make the tough decisions. So
It is a business, and we all should have seen it coming when they signed Teddy, right?
yeah, when they signed Teddy, then they turned around and picked up the XFL guy. What's his name? PJ Walker. They picked him
Yep.
up.
PJ Walker.
Yeah, they picked him up. So where does this put Cam? I know a lot of people say he's going to the Patriots, but I think the Patriots are going to draft a quarterback. They said Miami, Chicago just got Nick Foles. The Chargers said they're not looking for a quarterback. I hear rumors that he might go down to Duval. Do you see him playing this season?
Maybe as a backup. If, if someone picks him up, maybe as a backup, but I don't see him starting anywhere because one, he may cost too much,
Yeah,
and not a lot of teams are going to be interested in mediocre play. I mean, half the league is mediocre quarterbacks out there anyway. So, and they're getting paid. Like for example, Kirk Cousins.
yeah. He just got a deal. So I mean, he got
Yeah,
another 66 million. So
yeah. So it all depends on how his mindset is. If he's going to take a pay cut and be a backup.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about it. I think he's. I mean, unless the team's desperate enough to sign him, but I see him and who's the other guy that got released? Winston. I see both of them in the backup role unless the team is desperate enough to pay them money to be a starter.
Man, man, man.
Yeah.
Man. How bad do you have to be for you to throw for 50, 5,000, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and you,
Well,
oh my God, and now you
when,
out.
when a certain guy from New England decides to make your team his team, your team his new team, that pretty much the writing on the wall for you. Think?
Winston's a free agent.
Winston's
yeah.
free agent.
Well, he's a free agent, so he's pretty well. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to take the back role. I know we talked about it last week. Phil said, I know he said he should stay and learn under Tom Brady, but then again, you got to look at the market of QBs. Maybe Tampa didn't want to pay him that money, so they probably just told him to go ahead, go ahead and good luck and try to, try to find greener pastures. But honestly, I don't see that. I don't see that happening for maybe more for Cam than Jameis, but
No, I think Jameis is actually better than Cam at this point in time. Look. Let me say this, and that really all right. This is to you motherfuckers out here. We talking about you punk ass Falcons fans who are right now in my fucking group. All right, all you motherfuckers, all you fake ass Falcons fans. Soon as fucking Cam Newton become free agent, you bitches start flooding my damn group with, sign Cam. Oh, we got to get rid of him. Oh, we need a new black quarterback. Oh, we need a new running quarterback.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
I'm sick of you. I hate you. I really mean every bit of what I just said. I'm sick of you. I hate you. I hate fake ass fans that every time a fucking wind blows, your ass goes with the fucking wind. All right. If you're going to be a Falcons fan, all right, if you're going to be a Falcons fan, if you're going to be a fan, period, fuck just the Falcons fan. At least be a good one. At least be a loyal bitch, all right?
Oh wait, you know what? Or be one with some common sense too. Have some common sense as well. Please do, because this is not Madden.
At least be a loyal bitch. If you're going to be a bitch,
this is not Madden with the salary cap off. We can't sign everybody. Sorry, So I mean, it's you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, Cam did have a physical. He said he's hungry, but like I said, he might think he's ready. But the question is, what team is desperate enough to? I'm not going to say desperate, but who's going to pay him? Because he's going to look for that one big deal before he retires or he leaves football for good. So I mean, if there's a team out there that's willing to pay him up, I really, honestly, the only team I can really say that has maybe they'll sign him is Jacksonville. And I know my son would love that because he is a Cam Newton fan. So I asked him about it. He said he would love Cam Newton to come down to Duval. So I mean, but that's the only team I see. And but I don't think he's going there either because they just got. I think Minshew's going to be. The quarterback down there. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, Boom. What you think? What you think about this? You think Cam's going to? He says he's going to be a backup, but. What do you think? You think he'll come back the same Cam, the Superman Cam? You think he'll come back and be that, or he'll be a former shell of himself?
I think that Super Bowl game says it all. When he was in the Super Bowl, when he lost the ball, instead of diving for it, he just took a step back.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams are keeping that in mind as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's not willing to do everything and anything for the team. They got that out the back of their mind. So him going anywhere is going to be as a backup. If he did, and if he doesn't get signed, he'll be a free agent until something happens to a team where the quarterback goes down and he's available, and they're going to sign him then. But right now, I don't really see him going anywhere. Because all the teams they pretty much got the quarterback signed.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota got Kirk Cousins signed. I know there's talks of Deshaun Watson in Houston with the contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't see what team needs a quarterback right now.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, if you look at the quarterback landscape right now, maybe Detroit, but I don't think nobody wants to play for coach Matt Patricia right now after what he did with Darius Slay. So I don't see him going there. And, Matthew Stafford might be on his way out because he's injury prone. Denver, they got Drew Lock, who is from Mizzou. I know LaDonna heard that. He's from Mizzou. Pittsburgh, but Roethlisberger is going to play till he's 50. Cincinnati's got the number one pick in the draft, so he's they're gonna they're going after Burrow. So
Yep.
I don't really see him going anywhere unless like I said he goes to a situation where he's a backup. So I mean I wish him the best of luck. I wish him you know I hope. Well, there is Miami, but I think Miami's going to try to get either Herbert from Oregon or Tua from Alabama. They get him as a rookie, and he's a free agent. They get him as a rookie, and it'll be a lot cheaper than getting Cam. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I really don't see him going anywhere, honestly.
it all depends on his mindset, how he is coming out from the injury. Like we said last week, how does the player respond coming back from injury?
Yeah, that was a big injury too.
With coming back from injury and as being a backup when you were once a NFL MVP quarterback leading your team to
They hate me. They trying to hate me. They trying to keep a black man down, man. You know that.
It was that.
I don't know what's wrong.
It was that Rona, bro. That Rona.
They saw it. They saw it. That Rona hating on the G, man. That Rona is hating on him, man. I don't know what's going on, but it's
talking shit.
What the fuck? Like seriously.
For sure.
Why?
But
they hate on me.
They try to keep Mad Mike down. You know how it go, man. You know how to go. But here's a question right here.
They hating on me like.
Here's a question right here. Here's a question right here. Brian said, "Can you see him as a backup in Tennessee, Seattle, Philly, or the Rams?" I don't know. I mean, maybe the Rams because Golf is trash and Bortles is trash, so maybe the Rams. But the Rams just let go of Fowler and Gurley, so they're trying to clear cap room, and they're trying to give Jalen Ramsey they're probably gonna have to pay Jalen Ramsey, which I think they're not gonna afford him. They still got to pay Thanos, aka Aaron Donald, over there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's the Eagles.
And they're gonna pay Thanos over the quarterback.
Over Ramsey, yeah. So I mean, I don't really know. I mean, Philly. I mean, they got Wentz, but I mean, I can see him in Philly. They don't really have a backup. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I really don't. So I mean,
but it's also to look at their offense too. All these teams' offense can fit in.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing too, because Campbell.
Because with his history of his foot, you can't look at him as a running quarterback.
Right. And then, a lot of people said that he's Charleston, he did get paid, but he still, I think his cap number is pretty high. I think it's about north of 20. So, you figure you gotta shave some money off the cap space to pay your top player. So I mean, it pretty much came down to it. Would I pay Ty Gurley or would I pay Aaron Donald? And it was a foregone conclusion. Aaron Donald, to me, is probably the best defensive player in football, to me. So I mean, as a business, as an owner, I'm pro player, but as an owner, you gotta do some stuff. You gotta think about salary cap. Yeah, you gotta get on the salary cap. So I mean, it's these decisions you gotta make, and then also
free agents. I got a question for you.
Okay.
All these there's plenty of players out there that are free agents that haven't played in a few years. Going to Des Bryant. Yeah. Do you think he'll make a comeback to NFL?
I think so. I don't know. I think you probably got more insight than me. Wasn't the Cowboys trying to bring him back?
Well, he's trying to come back. He's trying to make a case to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I'm not talking shit about him.
I don't want him back. That's all I want.
He can replace Randall Cobb to be a
I know Cobb's going, yeah. So
he can definitely be the inside presence. And from watching him play, when he was with Dallas, he he was never scared to go through the middle.
That's true. And I think at this time in Dez's career, if he does come back, I think he's more suited better to be a slot guy now, vice outside perimeter guy. I think he's more of an inside guy now. And like I said, I think he's more physical. I think he's one of the most physical receivers in when he was playing. You know, he wasn't really a speed guy. He was more of a physical jump 50-50 type guy. And I think he's more suited to be a slot guy. He'll be a matchup. I think he'll be more of a matchup nightmare going against a third cornerback. So I would love for him to come back. I mean, as much as even though he played for Dallas, Dez was one of my favorite players to watch. You know, he was one of my favorite players to watch. Yeah, he had.
I wouldn't mind him back as long as he, runs good routes and catches the ball with his hands, not with his body.
Well, that was one of his biggest weaknesses is that he wasn't really a good route runner. He was more of he only knew how to ran. He only know how to ran 3 routes, straight, slant, and a dig. That's it. I think that was his criticism. So,
but maybe working out this off season, whatnot, coming back from torn Achilles, maybe he probably got that down. And he did work out with Patrick Mahomes too, right? There was a video.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they had a video of him working out with Mahomes too.
They could be looking into him, but again, it goes back to what we said last week. How does a player respond coming back from injury? And what is his mindset being on a team, not being a primary guy or primary target?
Yeah,
so
he's definitely
yet to be seen. I would last season I would have loved them see him as a Saint making that run.
Yeah,
because I think he could have helped, but unfortunately in practice he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it happened too, because I really wanted him to come back. He was one of the guys that I wanted to see, get right. And even though he got picked up by New Orleans, I was really excited about that to see him try to come back. So, but another thing too, I do want to ask you this because since we're talking about the Cowboys right now, I see the Cowboys made a couple moves. They signed Gerald McCoy. They signed Clinton Dix, and also one of your offensive linemen retired, Travis Frederick.
Let's start there.
Yeah, how you feel about that? How you feel about what the Cowboys are doing right now?
With Travis Frederick retiring, that is a big blow to our offensive line because he was the man on playing center, calling which way are we going to be what the line's going to be blocking. He's calling out audible plays, which way they need to shift, whatnot. That hurt. Looney, when Frederick went down, Looney, when he came in, he did his job. He did, he filled in very well. So I do have good outlook on that with Looney if he's gonna stay there and play center and take that role. I do have good feeling about that. But with Federer retiring, he played in the league 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he was only 20. He was still in his mid-20s, like 27, 26, 27.
Yeah. So I get why he's retiring. I mean that autoimmune disease that he had is nothing to mess with because when he was out, they said that autoimmune disease was messing with his the shoulder, kept giving him stingers. I mean, I understand that, and this is a violent game, and that can trigger the things coming back. And hey, I him to walking away for after what he has done, sad that he couldn't go to the promised land, but that's what it is now with these players retiring so young.
Oh yeah,
they don't get to where they want to, and this proves that they're just playing strictly for the love of the playing football, not for the money, not for trying to get the Super Bowl, but they will do everything that they can to help. And I applaud him for that. But I guess I do applaud him for taking walking away and have a healthier life later on after this.
Right,
So
right.
that hurt. And with Poe and all these Howard Clinton, he's reunited with his former coach in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows how that player is going to be, how he's going to be a leader going into camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Poe, everyone says he's a good player, but he just needs to stay on the field. So that's my take on it too. As long as you can stay on the field and contribute, we're good. But if you're gonna play 2 or 3 games and then you're gone, that's just a number 90 to me.
Right. I know we had a big old thing about that last week, man. Don was about to come with the fisticuffs on that one, but y'all did pick up. I forgot y'all picked up Poe, and then also y'all picked up McCoy. I think he signed a 3-year deal. How you feel about that? You think he still got some juice left? You think he can help old number 90 over there?
Jesus. Jesus needs to just come down to help number 90.
Oh man.
So,
but I will say this though. I think with the move that y'all made, as far as y'all defense, I think it helped a little bit. Because I know your wife was talking about how she, her defense is moving up from trash to mediocre now. So, do you think that will help the Cowboys, or do y'all think y'all still have to add more pieces as far as on defense?
We need a whole lot more. We just filled in the blanks, right, on the defensive line. That's all we did. Do we have depth? I don't think we have depth. We need a corner, a linebacker, a corner, and a safety. So just filling in the blanks on the D line is not going to. No, we still need another safety besides him.
Mm-hmm.
So
y'all also need a cornerback, right? Because Jones is gone. Jones is gone.
So it's a work in progress. I know it's way too early. Drafted. We haven't even done the draft yet.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, right now we're just filling the blanks, and then we have to get depth later on. But not having depth on the D line and D line, the battle in the trenches.
Yeah,
it takes a toll. You can't play that D line the whole game without going out for a breather.
For a breather, right?
So, but right now we're just filling the blanks. Get everything situated, but we also need depth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, and then filling the spots on the second level and the third level.
True. You see what the Falcons are going through as far as our lines. We've been trying to fix our lines for years, so I totally understand that. What's going on, Phil? I see you checking in. How you feeling out there? Man, trying to make it, man. Enjoying this quarantine, I guess. So we're just trying to catch up to speed. We kind of talked about the big free agency frenzy that happened, people getting released. I don't know if you heard, but we did talk about Cam Newton and his possibility of where would he land, or is he ever going to play again? And you want to talk about that? You got any thoughts on that?
I think he will land somewhere. There's a lot of teams out there that can use a quarterback. I'm more interested in seeing if he can perform.
Mm-hmm.
Where's his performance level? Is he healthy? Can he stay healthy? And if he can do that, I think he can contribute. I'm not saying he's this all elite quarterback, but he's very, very athletic and very, very quick. I think he can help a team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's led a team to the Super Bowl before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can get it done, but I want to see if he's 100% healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you have an idea where he'll land as far as the team? Because
honestly,
it's kind of hard right now because I don't really see him, a team really knocking down the door for him. But so I mean,
I honestly don't know where he will land.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes, but I honestly don't know where he would go.
Right. It's going to be real interesting, man. I mean, I want to see him. Like I said, I want to see him do well, but we'll we'll see. You know, I seen stranger things in sports, and the way it's going now, with all we got is time, so we can wait all we
Stop
can.
lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying. Stop lying. Everybody stop lying. Cam ain't shit. All right, just make that sure.
Well,
Make
I'm
that
glad.
a point. He
Well,
ain't shit at this point in time. He's nothing more than an old washed up running back. All right, he's Todd Gurley. He's supposedly Todd Gurley. He's supposedly Bo Dip. He's all that right now. That's what Cam is, and that's what he's going to be. That's what he's going to be. He's never been a good quarterback. He's never been an accurate quarterback. He's always been an athlete with legs and a decent arm, more than a decent arm. All right, that's just facts. He'll be able to help a team similar to what Baltimore did, but like, are you willing to Robert Griffin and Lamar Jackson? Like, that's what he is at this point. Like, that's not fool ourselves. He's not going to learn how to be a quarterback. He's not going to learn how to be an accurate quarterback 9 years, 10th year in the league. That's not happening. All right? Let's stop trying to fool ourselves. All right, Cam, he will be able to provide a solid. He'll probably be able to get a solid backup job. If he wants to win, he's going to have to take money. He's going to have to take less money because nobody in their right mind right now is going to give Cam anything close to $20, plus $1 million a year. He's going to have to take at least 15. Yeah, he's going to take 15 to be a backup, possibly less than that. But at this point, like I said, not trying to disrespect his athleticism, but even his athleticism right now that's on shaky ground. Like, he is literally a walking wounded animal. That's what he is right now.
Well, I mean, like I said, and then like we talked about it too, how he's going to look coming back from injury. So, on things do time with
the dude was out a whole year. He was out a whole year with a bad shoulder
and the foot.
Done.
And he had the foot problem too. And he had the foot. So that's all we can say. But with that being said, I'm glad you're back because I know there are a lot of your fans are clamoring about this. So.
Man, they trying to
I'm gonna let you have the floor for right.
They trying to keep a player. I don't know what it is today, bro. They trying to keep a player down.
It's that Rona, man. That Rona trying to keep you down, man.
What did I do? What did I do so bad that'll try to get you guys to get me off on my own our network, my own show, everything? They're trying to get me off, bro.
Everything. They trying to get you off
everything. Well, you know what? They trying to Colin Kaepernick me. That's what they doing, man. They trying to Colin Kaepernick me, bro.
But
what the fuck?
We are here. This is the time that I know a lot of Falcon fans are out there. They're clamoring. They want to know about these moves. And who better than to talk about this than Mad Mike himself?
Dre, stop the bullshit. You know you the smartest guy on this damn network. You need to quit your shit.
No, but you know what? No, but this is your forte. This is you, dog. I mean, this is why I let you.
Don't believe Dre. Dre is the reason why I even got into this. Don't believe nothing Dre says, man. Dre just being humble.
But you have an audience out there that they're hardcore Falcon fans.
Dre don't want to hear that.
And if you look at our chat line right now, they're clamoring for it right now. So I'm gonna let you have the floor. I know there's a couple. I will say this though, there are a couple. The moves that we've made, the Falcons have made. I've been impressed, considering the fact that everybody thought that we was cash strapped. Even I said that Dimitrov, or as I call him, Dummy Trough, is on a short leash with me. But I ain't gonna lie. These moves they've been making, I've been impressed, man. I mean, they got Dante Fowler, who is still a great young pass rusher to me. My only concern with him is his consistency. He needs to be consistent with his pass rushing. And then the big one, the damn good dog came home. That was a big one. I know a lot of people are talking about his knees not going to hold up, but you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it from a perspective as the Falcons have a lot better playmakers than the Rams do. A lot better playmakers. A lot better. And as much as we talk about how bad our line is, it's a lot better than the Rams line. Trust me, it is. And
Definitely.
Gurley, and the thing with Gurley is Gurley's not going to have to be the guy in Atlanta. You got Julio, you got Ridley, you got Matt Ryan, you got Hurst. They just picked up Treadwell, who I think will be, even though a lot of people say he's a bust, I never thought of him being a number one receiver. I thought of him more as maybe a hard 2 or a 3. I never thought of him as a number one guy. But he's definitely gonna get some looks this year because you got Julio really on the perimeter. You got Hayden Hurst, who is basically a faster version of Austin Hooper. And then Gurley's not gonna be the feature back like a Zeke or a Melvin Gordon or Le'Veon Bell. He's gonna be more of like the guy that comes out the backfield to make plays as far as in the passing game. But I think she didn't want Maggie didn't want him here, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I had reservations about Gurley coming here because I mean we released Freeman for the same thing, lower extremity injury. So I'm right now I'm impressed. And then we're gonna get another $10 million by releasing Trufant, I think in June, if I'm correct. So we're gonna have about $20 million to spend. They'll probably go to the rookie class when we drafted. They'll probably go to the rookie class. I know a lot of people said they wanted Ndamukong Suh. I know a lot of people said they wanted Everson Griffin. As much as I love those guys, we probably won't afford them unless they do what Gurley did and sign a 1-year prove-it deal. I would love to have those guys, but I'm impressed with the moves we made so far. So, but that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let you have it, and then I will come back with my retort. So I'm gonna let you go.
Let me start off by saying this first and foremost. Let's get everything straight. All right, we got to get this straight because there's a misconception that this is the Thomas Dimitrov show. Nah, bitch, it's not his show. All right, this is Rich McKay. He's running everything right now. He's back. He's overseeing every deal, and he's pointing the finger. He's calling all of the shots. Why haven't we seen this before? Do you recall ever seeing the Falcons being this aggressive in free agency?
No. Nah. Well. No, I haven't. I mean, if you want to count the Ray Edwards flop, that doesn't count though in my book. So I haven't really seen the Falcons get. I mean, I've seen them make some key moves, but I've never seen them go out. And then on top of that, they go out and sign quality players. Like these are quality guys that can still play in the league. I mean, everybody, yes, we know Gurley has the bad knee, but the man still had over 1,000 scrimmage yards and 14 touchdowns last year. So I mean,
very much so.
It's not like he completely fell off. Yes, his yardage went down. He only had 857 yards, but the man still put it in the end zone. And like I said before, I don't expect him to be a 25, 30 carry guy in our system. He'll probably be more like, I'll say 10 to 15 at the most. That'll be his range. And then, like I said, we still got running backs, and then we'll probably there's plenty of running backs in the draft that we can take in the later rounds if we have to. You know what I'm saying? Todd Gurley's not going to be – if everybody's thinking that Todd Gurley's going to be this 25, 30 carry guy, you're sadly mistaken. He won't be. He'll be more of a 10, 15 guy. He'll be the feature guy. He'll be the feature back, of course. He'll be the starter. But don't be surprised that guys like Ollison and those guys and Smith will get some carries too. It's going to be a running back by committee for the Falcons.
Let me say this. All right. In every team, you got to have two things. You got to have a quarterback and you have to have a receiver.
Yeah.
That's just the league that we live in right now. Dallas has Cooper and Dakota. We have Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. You know, and they had Tom Brady, Edelman, and Gronkowski. They had those guys. All right. They ran the show. All right. And when you have a piece like a Todd Gurley, we're talking about Todd Gurley. Not this one thing a lot of people are underestimating. And I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but Dre, answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this guy? He was a running back. All we need is need him to do one thing, and he totally whiffed on that one thing that we needed him to do.
Yeah.
If he picks up that blitz, do you think we win the Super Bowl on that?
Yeah, because I forgot what the guy's name was, but he was wide open downfield. I know what you're talking about.
Open.
Wide open down the field because if Matt Ryan
Aldrick Robinson.
Aldrick Robinson. He was wide open down the field because many times I watched that play and I see how it unfolded. Yeah. But hindsight's 2020. But I know what you're talking about, though.
Boom. How great is Zeke in pass protection?
He's great. He's good. He picks up blitzes. I mean, yeah, there's a play or two here and there where he misses a block, but overall, he's good. He picks up the edge rushers or the blitz coming up the middle. He'll pick it up.
And you can count on him, right? You are satisfied with his pass protection that you can put him out and actually get the job done.
Yeah.
And see, that's an underrated aspect of the game because guess what? Sometimes offensive linemen can't keep everyone under. Like when you send 6-man blitz, 5-man blitzes, somebody's coming free, and someone has to pick up someone, and that someone either is a tight end or a running back. And oftentimes you send a tight end out in the pass, so you're not trying to keep one of your bigger threats in, especially Dallas and Atlanta. We're trying to keep our tight ends. We're trying to put those guys in so they can catch the ball, and that's what you got. Hurst. That's the reason why you got a Hayden Hurst. That's the reason why for so many years Dallas had
Jason.
I can go back to Jay Novacek. Like they've always had a good tight end. Always had a good tight end. You don't want your tight end in on pass protection. Oftentimes that was Emmitt Smith. You have a Zeke.
And let me say this here. So when I say it later on, people like, "Oh, you're just saying that now." No, Blake Jarvin is going to be great.
Okay.
Blake Jarvin is going to be great this year.
Yeah,
he can run the routes, he can catch the ball, and he can sure as hell can protect.
Right.
So I'm gonna say this right now: he's going to be good for Dak. If Dak plays, he's going to be good.
Oh, okay. Mike, I got a question for you. There's a question someone put up, and this is a sore spot with me, so I might have to. And I kind of agree in a way. He said, "What's the point of having Todd Gurley if Dirk can't develop a run game?" You know my feelings about Carter.
I literally just you hear? Do you people hear anything?
Right.
Did you hear anything I just said?
Man, maybe
hold
on. Maybe he just got on the show. Come on, man, come some slack.
I literally just said it.
He
What
just
the
got
hell are you asking? Why are we asking questions? Why are you even listening?
I guess I have to take over this. Me personally,
pass protection.
Yes. Me personally, I have reservations about it because I have heavy criticism about Carter.
This ain't no.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm one of the biggest critics of Dirk Cutter there is. When I tell you just like this, the Atlanta Falcons' problem offensively was not Dirk Cutter, not because of Dirk Cutter whatsoever. Do you hear what I said? It wasn't Dirk Cutter. The problem with the Atlanta Falcons last year was they could not establish a run.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons passed the ball more than any team in the first half of the game. Why? Because Devontae Freeman could not run the ball. He could not get 1 yard. He could not get the easy 1 yard. He couldn't get the easy 2 yards.
And also, we played most of our games. We played from behind, so we had no choice but to pass.
We had no choice.
We had no choice.
So how's that a Dirk Cutter problem?
Well, you know me. But I would say this, Mike. I'm not. I'm also a critic of Carter as well, but I also know that everybody on that staff deserves a piece of that donkey. That's all.
Everybody, including the players. Including the players. You got to execute. I'm tired of hearing. Look, I'm tired of hearing about. Oh, this offensive coordinator sucks. Oh, this player sucks. Oh, look, if these guys aren't executing a play, Guess what? You can't just say it's all on Dirk Cutter. He called the wrong play. He can call the wrong play, but what if Julio gets open on that wrong play? What if Calvin really gets open on that wrong play? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's been times where Calvin Ridley ran the wrong route and
ran the wrong route. And
wrong route.
this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the type of stuff you still have to execute. All right, even on the play when Julio Jones was playing against the Philadelphia. Do you remember that play? Even on that,
how could I forget?
Oh my God!
How could I forget?
This dude ran a fullback, and the fullback was in Steve Sarkisian had a fullback.
Sark was drinking that. Sark was drinking something that night. He had some kind of a Hennessy shot or something. I don't know what it was.
And still, Julio almost caught the ball, but he dropped it. Julio dropped the ball. That could have been a touchdown, but Julio dropped it.
Yeah,
is that Dirk Cutter fault that he did it? No. And I love Julio. I love Julio.
Yeah. Like I said, everybody deserves his donkey. But we're not gonna move on just yet. But I do want to ask you this, Mike. With the addition of Fowler and our defense is coming back. Do you think the Falcons defense will improve? I know, and y'all know Canal Neal's the big question mark. He's the big question mark. Campbell is gone. Do you see the Falcons defense improving, or do we have to get anybody in the draft or free agency? I mean, what do you think?
I hate, honestly, I don't like resting on last year. I know this might sound crazy, but I don't like. I'm always a person like, and my boy Lieutenant Dan, he hates when I say this, but we have to be patient. Like, we don't know.
I mean, come on, man. We've been Falcons fans, man. We ain't got nothing but patience on
that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like, every year, there's a defense that comes out of nowhere that you don't expect to be so freaking good. Nobody would have saw that the Patriots defense would have been, even under Bill Belichick, we would have never thought those guys would have been as good as they were. They would have never thought that Baltimore defense was as good as they were. Yeah, they've had the history. Yeah. But you would have never thought that these guys would. So we got to be. I don't like when you look at it on paper, man. I like what the Falcons have. You have two guys in Deion Jones and KZ. Those guys are playmakers. So you put those guys in position where they can make plays.
And I think And I think Oliver will have a good year this season. He'll have a good year. I think he's got his chops busted last season, but I think he'll have a good year this year.
That's what it's all about, man. It's all about putting your playmakers, and that's why I always give Bill Belichick his due. As far as defense is concerned, he always put his best players in positions to make plays. That's where it's all about. Put your best players in position to make plays, and the best players have to execute, man.
Yeah, and then on top of that,
can't keep blaming.
Like I said, everybody has. Like, everybody was blaming Quinn. Everybody was blaming. Like I said, even I was guilty of it too. But everybody deserved a bit of that donkey. So, but like I said, the big question mark this year is going to be Canal Neal. I mean, 2 major season-ending injuries. I want to see what he does. I know the Falcons picked up his 5th-year option. I want to see what he does. I really do. Do I think the Falcons defense has the capability to be better? Yeah, especially if Fowler plays like he did with the Rams when he had 12 sacks. So I mean, if he can produce that in Atlanta, and playing with Grady Jarrett, who I think is probably the 3rd best defensive tackle in football behind, of course, Aaron Donald and Geno Atkins. He's number 3 in my book. But Jarrett finally got some help now. Now he has a legitimate pass rusher. Because like I said before, if we wouldn't have got Vic Beasley, Dante Fowler was on my list. It was one of them two. Beasley's gone. We got Fowler now. So I mean, even though he did go to that college down in Gainesville, I mean, he's still a young player. He's only 25. We signed him to a cap friendly deal. I think it was for 3 years for $48 million. He still got juice left in the tank, so I think it'll work for us. Before we move on, Phil, you got anything to say about the Falcons getting Gurley?
I mean, it can't hurt. I kind of raised the eyebrow that you got rid of Freeman and then you bring Gurley in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it can't hurt. It's a 1-year contract.
It's only 1 year deal, right? So I think he'll work out. And if it doesn't, he leaves after a year. So I mean, that's it. So I mean, but and also before we move on, there are a lot of guys in the draft that I'm very impressed by so far. I didn't really watch the combine, but I kind of read up on it. There are a lot of guys in the draft that I think will look good in red and black. So I'm anxious.
Keyshawn Vaughn.
I know, and then
That's my guy.
that guy, Ken Law, even though he played for South Carolina, he's a pretty good defensive tackle. You know my boy. I know Dante's probably watching. I would love to get Derrick Brown from Auburn. I think he'll be him. I think him and Grady Jarrett. Yeah, I think him and Grady Jarrett would be a good tandem. But I think he'll be a top 10 pick. Isaiah Simmons, who could Mr. Do It All for Clemson. I mean, he played literally every position on defense, multiple positions on defense. I think he could be like a hybrid, like a Cam Chancellor, or even like a Brian Urlacher, who was a safety in college, and then they moved to the middle linebacker, and the rest is history. So I mean, it's a lot of choices out there, man. It really is. So, but with that being said, I'm looking forward to hopefully this Rona tightens up so we can get ready for this football. I'm kind of missing it right now. You know, I'm jonesing for it. So, but I'm very intrigued to see how the Falcons put it all together, because you know the NFC South is going to be interesting as hell. You got Brady in Tampa Bay. You got Bridgewater in Carolina. The Falcons reloaded. The Saints, they just picked up Emmanuel Sanders. NFC South's going to be real tough this year, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I think the Falcons are going to surprise a lot of people. They're not really talking about us. They're talking about Brady and Breeze and Bridgewater. But that's good. The last time they ain't talk about us, we surprised a lot of people. So they don't have to talk about us. They know what time it is. So, but with that being said, we're going to move on to the next subject. If my producer can put it up there for us, please, if she's listening for us. This is kind of like we're going to do something different tonight. We're going to kind of throw it back a little bit, do a round table debate here. We're going to talk about which NBA player has made the biggest impact. Well, you already know my answer. It's no secret. The guy that was in Chicago that wore that 2-3, I think a bigger impact to me. For me personally, I think Jordan was a bigger impact to me because he dominated in a league that was full of big men, to me, honestly. Because everybody thought that in order to have a big man, you have to win a championship. You had to go get a big man. And I think Jordan kind of killed that notion, because Jordan was just a shooting guard out of North Carolina. Even though he was good, nobody knew how great he would be. And the way he dominated after he got past the bad boys, and he was kind of coasting after that. I mean, he was invincible. I think the first time I seen him miss a jump shot, I almost cried because I never thought the man could miss a jump shot. But I think after the Magic and Bird rivalry, the NBA kind of died down a little bit. And I think Michael Jordan, it wasn't just on the court either, it was off the court. Like, Michael Jordan was a global icon, and he kind of brought the NBA back. To me personally, especially at my age, when I grew up in that era where Michael was at the peak of his powers, and the Bulls were just like wrecking shop right now. And him and Pippen, and I know, Mike, that's your favorite player, Scottie P.
I got to take on him too. Definitely got to take on him.
Right, the way that he kind of revolutionized the game as far as going away from the big man championship. You have to build around a big man. I think that's the reason why he's made a bigger impact in basketball, and that's why a lot of people say he's the greatest of all time. So. But you go ahead. Whoever wants to talk.
Well, I'll say this. Go ahead, Boom.
I agree with you, Dre, with Michael Jordan. I mean, he was drafted, 84?
84. That was a great draft class. He was number 3. And I know the Portland Trailblazers are kicking themselves because they could have had Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler on that team.
So he was drafted in 84, didn't win his first championship until 91. So right. He went through that growing phase.
Yeah.
And then won 3 straight, 91, 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, wasn't it after that where he went to Phil Jackson and said, hey, bring in this guy named Dennis Rodman?
Oh, yeah. I got something.
Scotty didn't want him. Scotty said no. Mm-hmm. But he asked Phil, hey, can you tame him? He said, yes, I can. So they brought him in, and look, he won't score points, but he get you those 20 rebounds.
And the defense he played on Shaq in the Eastern Conference Finals was a masterpiece, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Or even against
and that was
right?
David Robinson as well, Karl Malone in the finals. But the way he handled a prime Shaq, because everybody knows Shaq is probably the most dominant big man in NBA history. But the way he handled a prime Shaq, that was great. That was really great, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. Jordan, the global icon. When he got that shoe deal or with Nike, NBA shut him down. Said, "No, we're gonna punish you for wearing your own shoes." Right? But Nike saw they're masterminds. They saw what type of player and person he is. So they picked up his fines.
Yeah.
Say you wear these shoes, we'll take care of the fines. And look at it now. All these great players, even today, they're being signed to the Jordan brand. Not necessarily that they had their own shoe, but they're still part of that Jordan brand.
Brand.
Yeah. You can't. No other company can compete with basketball shoes and Nike and Jordan.
Right.
No, there is none. Adidas, they try to make a run for it. Hell, even Under Armour with Stephen Curry.
Yeah. Even New Balance with Kawhi Leonard too. I mean, New Balance even trying to get in the game.
They're getting all these great players, but man, it just cannot meet that standard with Jordan.
Right.
So
we're talking about almost 2 decades later after we're talking about over 2 decades later, and he's still Nike is still.
Yeah. We're still buying those retros. Hell, my sister, she bought the Conca, the breads. The 11 breads that just released.
Yeah. I can't get them because of the damn. I can't get them because of the damn Rona. The damn Rona holding up the progress.
But I mean, this was back when they first released it. I tried to get them, but my sister, she was lucky enough to pick them up and send it to me, and I'm grateful for that. But people today, young, old, whatever, they're still buying Jordan. You want to see them buy a basketball shirt or shoes? It's Jordan.
How the hell you gonna buy some Jordan and then talk about LeBron the greatest? Y'all some damn. I tell you.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. I ain't gonna see the whole song because I ain't trying to run nobody off, but I'm
gonna tell you something. This is. I'm gonna say this. And this is actually. I gotta give my boy some love, man. I think
I know where you're going, Scottie P.
Scottie Pippen is one of the most disrespected players of all time. This guy gets absolutely no love whatsoever. Every time, and I think he understands that playing with the greatest basketball player of all time. But until he got Scottie, Mike wasn't Mike.
I mean, Mike was dominating, but he wasn't. He couldn't get over the hump. But then when you saw how Pippen, remember we talked about this, the way that Pippen blossomed as that play. Everybody talks about how LeBron was this point guard. Y'all forgot Scottie Pippen revolutionized the point forward position.
And that's exactly where I'm going. That's exactly where I'm going. Look, this is why I always say that I always have a certain level of respect for LeBron James, because he actually, he plays a lot like my favorite player. He runs the team. Scottie Pippen ran that offense. Michael Jordan was the offense, but Scottie ran the offense. He was the John Stockton. He was the Trae Young. He was the Steve Nash. He was the Jason Kidd. That's what Scottie was, and he didn't get a lot of respect for that. He didn't get any respect for it. If you ask me, I don't think he got respect for it. And one of the things I think where he changed the game, this is why I say he changed the game. Outside of Dennis Rodman, there was no player in the NBA who can guard almost every position on the floor. Scottie Pippen, he could guard anybody, any given time, and he did it well. I think he's like top five.
Look, that man. Look, I'm gonna tell you, right? Top five in steals, 9-time All NBA defense. I mean,
Like,
if you
come
if you
on,
9-time
like,
All
come
NBA,
on, man.
you know a little bit about some defense, just a
Come
little bit
on,
about
bro.
some defense,
Just a
man.
little bit.
And for everybody
Come-
that say, you know, they discredit Scotty because they say he doesn't play defense, y'all need to go watch the tape. Go watch the tape.
Bro.
That
Go
boy
watch the
played.
tape.
Kobe. Oh, Kobe did what's that? Kobe did a breakdown on Scottie Pippen's defense. The great Kobe Bryant did a detail on Scottie Pippen. So y'all got to give my boy some love, man. Scotty changed the way defense. Like, he really changed how you looked at playing defense. He and Dennis Rodman made you want to play defense, man.
Yeah.
That's why I will always have
And
respect.
even Pippen said it himself. He said, yes, he loves to score, but his impact was on the defensive side. That's what he wanted. That's what made, and I think in essence that's what made Michael Jordan be Michael Jordan. I mean, everybody knows how great Michael Jordan was, but the way that Scotty kind of blossomed, he kind of made Michael Jordan be the killer instinct guy that dropped 50 on you because
he could relax.
Yeah. Pippen did all the work. Like, I think, yes, we all know Michael Jordan's a great defender. He was also on, but everybody knew that when you had your best player on the floor, 9 times out of 10, he was being guarded by Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And and he did it defensively in probably the most physical era of basketball.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah. Them was the Wolves, man. I'm telling you, the Bulls and them Knicks games, man. No matter what I was doing, if the Bulls and Knicks were playing that day, I cleared my schedule because you knew you was gonna see some blood.
And I'm glad you brought that the Knicks up because my favorite memory of Scottie Pippen is when he dunked over Patrick Ewing.
Oh man, most disrespectful dunk I ever seen.
Man, and then of course Chicago and Detroit. They always got into fights somehow, someway.
Oh yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Especially with what's his name playing point guard there, Thomas.
Thomas, Isaiah. Yo, that was some legit real beef. That wasn't no play. That was some beef.
That was real.
That was real life beef right there, man. They did not like each other. Matter of fact, if you go back and watch the video on YouTube, Isaiah Thomas talked about when Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen kept him from going on the Dream Team. He was supposed to be on the Dream Team, and they told him, nah, bro. You good. So, but Phil, what about you, man? Who you think NBA wise, who made the biggest impact on the game?
It's hard to argue and say not Michael Jordan. When you look at the guy's resume and what he did, I'm gonna go with MJ as well. To me, he just made it more mainstream. Mm-hmm. And I always say when I was coming up, Jordan was almost to the point where it's kind of almost on the way out. Mm-hmm. But even I recognize the guy as the one who made it mainstream for me to watch. He was like the Hulk Hogan of the NBA, made it mainstream. And it was there.
Yeah, that was a good reference.
So to me, it would be Michael. But as I was growing up, there was a guy named Allen Iverson who was coming along. Yeah. And when I was growing up, everybody wanted to say be like Mike, but you wanted to be like Mike, but you wanted the handles of AI. The guy was a magician with the basketball. Yeah. Smaller guy, undersized, underdog, loved the story.
Heart of a lion, bro.
He was one of the ones that was starting to become mainstream as I grew up when I was growing up watching basketball. Yeah. So, like I said, it's going to be Jordan, hands down. When you look at the resume, we'll look at what he did. But for me, coming up, AI was the next best thing.
Yeah,
the next best thing. So, I mean, it's so many guys you can name, but I'm going to go with Jordan. But I'm not discrediting what AI brought to the game.
He brought AI. Michael Jordan was more of the business-like approach, the global icon. AI kind of brought that swagger, that street. You know what I'm saying? Like, he came in with the cornrows, with the afro, with the chain, the jerk throwback. I mean, it's and you're absolutely right. Because I mean, yes, we all know that he was drafted in the same draft class as Kobe, but Kobe wasn't there yet. I mean, Kobe had the potential to be great, which he did eventually down the road. But everybody knew what type of person AI was going to be. And the fact of the matter is, when he came in the league, he came in no fear at all. I mean, come on, he crossed up Michael Jordan. I mean, that tells you right there he has no fear crossing up the greatest player of all time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still watch that. I mean, so I mean, it's and the fact that I say he's the greatest little big man, the greatest little scorer in NBA history. That man played with like 12 different injuries and still was putting up 40 a night.
He was fearless. And that's one thing about him. Part of a line, like you said, he was very, very fearless. He went at any and everybody decided to guard him. He was all right. I'll take that challenge. You think you can shut me down? Well, let's see it.
Right.
And there's not a lot of people that can go out and say,
Right.
"Oh, I shut down Allen Iverson."
There was
not a lot of people that can say that.
There was a lot of there are a lot of ankles broken right now because of Allen Iverson. And if anybody's out there listening, watch Shaq's Hall of Fame speech where he talked about how AI went at him 5 times and Shaq touched him up and he went back 5 times and almost got Shaq in foul trouble. It's a very funny story. Very funny story. Very funny story. And also, we did talk about the Bulls. The Last Dance is coming on in June, so I'm pretty sure y'all make sure y'all watch that.
Oh yeah,
I got the reminder ready, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to watch it. I know it's going to be some as Phil said. I think it said June. I think it said June. I want to say June 10th or 11th. I'm not sure, but it's like a 10-part series.
Right.
And in the words of Phil, it's going to be fuckery because it's pretty sure it's going to be some fuckery going on.
And that's gonna break records. So watching a documentary or whatever. But that's gonna be amazing.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be some fuckery going on because I heard it was some drama in that camp. But it's just like the Patriots. The Bulls were like the Patriots. You got drama in your camp, doesn't matter. As long as you're winning championships, it cures everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, we're gonna move on to our next subject. My executive producer back there, we're going to put on the other one. So we're going to do another throwback. We're doing the Mount Rushmore of NBA point guards, but we're not just going to do point guards. We're going to do shooting guards as well. And I made a list. It was kind of tough for me because I got confused because there are certain players that play both positions. So if anybody wants to go, we're going to start with the point guards first.
Yeah, let me start because I don't like. Even back in the '90s, I didn't watch too much basketball. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm watching TV and I see a Bulls game on, yeah, I'm watching it because.
Hey, I was a Hawks fan. I was a Hawks fan, but I love if Michael Jordan was playing. I was.
Yeah, we stopped everything.
We stopped everything to watch him. Yeah.
So let me because I'm not too well versed with basketball and the players, and my list may sound like, hey, I'm just going off of mainstream media or whatever they say.
Hey man, that's good. That's your opinion, bro.
These are the players I watched growing up, and these are the players that I see that made an impact. To hell, even as a kid, you want to imitate one of them.
Oh yeah.
One of them, not all of them, but one of them you wanted to. Mm-hmm. So let me start with my. I got 4, and I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
So let me go through my 4, and then I'll tell you my honorable mention. Number 4, I got John Stockton.
Yeah, that's good.
What he did with the Jazz and Karl Malone, is probably standard of what the game evolved to later on, right? Really? With the point guard and the big man. And then I got Steve Nash, number 3, with what he did here in Dallas, what he did in Phoenix, what he did in Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah, he went to the Lakers, yeah.
So, I mean, even I know he had that was the end of his career where he had back issues over and over again where it limited him, but he was still one of the great point guards.
Oh yeah.
Number 2, I got AI. He
was a point.
Now I got to redo my list. Thanks, Samani. I got to do my list again. I got
he was a point.
But I mean, like I said, Iverson's one of them guys where he could play the 1 and the 2. So
he's like Russell.
Either way,
Russell Westbrook is a lot like him.
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook is.
It don't matter where you put him at. He could be a point guard, shooting guard. So if you put him as a point guard, you can't go wrong with that because he played both positions in his career.
Mm-hmm. And then the number 1, I don't care if he's not a point guard, Michael Jordan, because There are
Well, I will say this. I will say this. When he played point guard, he did run off 9 or 10 straight triple doubles. So, I mean,
so that's
You didn't say that. You didn't say that to the LeBron fan, did you?
yes, I did because when every time they bring up LeBron Michael Jordan debate and they talk about Michael Jordan never had a triple double, I was like, he ran off 9 or 10 straight. I put the article on my post so y'all can look at it because I pulled it out plenty of times from the LeBron maniacs.
So those are my top 4. And my honorable mention 2, Jason Williams, aka White Chocolate.
White Chocolate.
Now I got that's a lot. Now I gotta redo my list. everybody forgets about Jason Williams. That man was so underrated. He was so underrated.
He did things on the basketball court that you would see in street.
Right.
Street ball. The pass with the elbow.
When he crossed up.
Who does that?
When he crossed up Gary Payton, and everybody knows Gary Payton is one of the greatest defensive point guards in the league. When he crossed up Gary Payton, I was like, even Gary Payton was like, shit, he got me. He got me. So, I mean,
Gary Payton looks silly.
Yeah,
like the way he even went down was like, ow.
Yeah, man.
But that's my honorable, and the reason why he's honorable mention is because of the length of his career and the injuries. If he didn't have the injuries, he could him and the Sacramento Kings and Chris Webber could have won.
Much better, yeah.
Oh yeah. But don't get me wrong, Mike Bibby wasn't a slouch either. He was a good point guard, but he wasn't no Jason Williams though. I tell you that. Well, he wasn't no Jason Williams. So, but I got that was a good list. That was pretty good, man. Anybody else want to go? Anybody else want to have their list?
I'll say this. I think my point guard list is pretty see-through, especially with the first guy I'm about to say. It's not Trae Young. I'm talking about the guy that they compare him to. I think Steph is. I think he's one of the greatest point guards of all time, and not just specifically just like as your conventional like AI. Steph is doing things right now that like I've never seen from any guard. I've never seen from any shooting guard. I've never seen from any point guard. He's doing things with the basketball, especially with the 3-point shot. The guy can literally hit. We're talking about half-court shots with ease. We're talking about this guy putting on performances before the games, and he's shooting the ball from like the stands. And you remember the old Mike? You remember the Michael? The Magic, not Magic, but Larry Bird, Michael Jordan commercial when they was like off the scoreboard, off the, like this is what Steph doing right now. Like this dude is shooting crap like this dude did not just hit it. All right, we're talking about he's doing it with ease, and not only that, Steph Curry has. I've never seen any player in this league that has the stamina this guy never gets fucking tired. He never ever the guy never gets tired, and he is that engine that makes Golden State go. No Steph Curry, no championship. It's really that simple, and he's going to always say that.
It was evident this year when he went down with that broken fractured rib. Where did the offense go? Where did Draymond Green go?
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Well, don't even bring up Draymond Green because the last time I said something, Brian is listening right now. Brian is listening right now. The last time we brought Draymond Green, we had a full-out war in our group.
Ooh, boy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Oh, it is absolutely. It was just one guy that thought that it wasn't. So yeah.
Awesome.
We're not no bullies, man. We're not no bullies. We were just trying to direct him to the light, and he kept going away from the light. So every time we tried to bring him back, he didn't want to listen. So we just like, you know what? Leave him in the dark then. But go ahead, Bo.
And that person, what he what he needs to realize is Draymond Green did all of that, being the second team, first team defense or whatever, or anything, any type of war. He did that with Steph Curry on his team playing like he has. If he hasn't, then this season proves it. When he hasn't,
that man averaging a triple single. That man averaging a triple single.
He was doing that when they were there. I mean, this is he was just.
It's just more.
He was a valuable piece when they were all on the floor. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
He was valuable that way. He did take a lot of pressure off them when it came defensively. So I'm not going to sit there and say that he's a slouch, but offensively, we're not going to go there.
Right, and then the whole he was the greatest defensive player of all time, but you let Siakam piss all over you during the NBA Finals. Yeah, he said it. He said he was the greatest defensive player of all time.
Shit.
He said that.
He said it himself.
Who we talking about?
Draymond Green said it, and I quote before the NBA Finals. He said that he was the greatest defensive player of all time, and then the next night, the game one, he let Siakam drop 31. I was like, Dennis Rodman would have never, ever in his life.
No, he would have not checked you before you got 10 points on him.
If Siakam would have scored 5 straight, Rodman would have given him a hip check or something. You see what he did to Scottie Pippen. Nobody forgets about how he put Scottie Pippen into the stands, and Scottie Pippen got that scar.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about it in that special. How he got that scar is from when Dennis Rodman pushed him into that stand.
I hate it. I really hate it. Like that's the truth. I really, when he put Scottie, man, I wanted to fight him my damn self because Scottie my favorite player, and yeah. But
you know what? Dennis Rodman played his role. He played his role. That's why
he did a great job.
Dennis Rodman was kind of like that's why when he went to WCW for a little bit and kind of teamed up with, he knew how to play his role. He knew he wasn't a great play his role, man. He knew he wasn't a great scorer. That man gives you great defense. And he's like, to me, I don't care. Fight me if I say it. He's the greatest rebounder of all time. Fight me if you don't like it. He is. He's the greatest rebounder.
I'm sorry.
He is. I know you got Shaq. I know you got Wilt Chamberlain. I know you got Bill Russell.
Man, they 7 feet, man. You already up
Dennis
there.
Dennis Rodman was 6. No, he was like 6'7".
6'5". No, he was a little. Yeah, he was a little taller than Scottie.
He was 6'7". He was about the same height as Scottie. That's why they called him the worm for a reason, because that man would mess around like you're not even paying attention. You mess around. This man got 15 rebounds in the first half already.
Dude, this dude. Go ahead, Boom. Go ahead,
Boom.
I just looked. I'm looking at Dennis Rodman's stats, and there's something on here that's surprised the hell out of me. So total games he's played 911.
Dennis Rodman.
Mm-hmm. Points per game 7.3 coming off rebounds.
Yeah, tip ins. Yep, tip ins and easy layups. Yep.
Total rebounds per game 13.1.
I think he never went. I think he never went 10 below his career. He never went below 10. He never went below 10.
Game from this guy for who's 6'7". There were big men who couldn't even average that.
Right.
Yes.
Now here's the part that surprised me. Well, I don't think it should because of what you said. You know, he gets those points off of tip-ins and whatnot. Field goal percentage 52.1.
Yeah,
that's
because
awesome.
Dennis Rodman knew his role. He knew that Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen they were the alpha males on that team. He knew his role. That's why the Bulls were great, because he knew his role.
And he had a 23.1% on 3-point.
That corner 3, man. I remember the one he hit against the Sonics in Game 3.
We got some players in the NBA right now who can't shoot 23% from the field. Like we're talking.
Do you remember the game where on his birthday he had 3 threes? Like,
yes, I remember that. Yes,
who is this guy?
Yeah, but that's what it was. I mean, it's mind-boggling. That's why I say it all the time. But people try to argue me down when I say this. Name me a better rebounder than Dennis Rodman. There isn't one. You can't at all. That man,
This dude got 30 rebounds in a game. 30 rebounds in a.
Don't he have the record for most offensive rebounds in the game? I think it was like 8 or 9. He had 8 or 9 offensive rebounds in one game.
I thought it was higher than that.
Offensive rebounds.
I think it's more.
It could be higher, but I've never in his career wise. I don't think he never went below. I don't think he ever averaged below 10 rebounds a game in his career, ever. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But
And that's right there. Like,
that's why Michael Jordan. That's
hard
why
to even think about that, man.
That's why Michael Jordan wanted him to come to Chicago because he knew they needed, especially after when they lost to Orlando the year before when Jordan came back.
Mm-hmm.
They needed that piece to go because Shaq was, prime Shaq was beasting. So they needed that guy to neutralize Shaq. And what better player to get?
And Alonzo Mourning was tearing the league up at the him and Alonzo Mourning were tearing the league up.
You saw how Dennis Rodman played Shaq. I mean, Shaq still got off, but Dennis Rodman made it hell for him. Oh my God,
he did, but he gave Alonzo legitimately hated everything about Dennis Rodman.
Who didn't though? Who didn't though? I mean, him and Karl Malone, they got so mad they wanted to do a wrestling match. So I mean, come on. They did a wrestling match with DDP in Hollywood. So I mean,
hey, man.
the beef was real. So, but with that being said, but go ahead, Boom. Go ahead.
With Dennis Rodman, when you said highest offensive rebound game, you said 8 or 10.
I said 8 or 9. How many he got?
18.
Shit.
Woo!
That's a lot. In this game, he had total 34 rebounds.
Damn.
Wow.
And he did that when he was with the Detroit Pistons in '92 against the Pistons.
18 offensive rebounds. Damn.
So
case closed. Anybody that wants to argue with me about that, it's a losing battle because we all know who's the best rebound of all time, and it's the Worm. It is. So, but
I agree. He's a great player, but I'm more. I want Mike to finish his Mount Rushmore because he started with Steph Curry.
Go ahead. We didn't have to. We kind of went off. So go ahead.
Yeah, but. It goes Steph Curry. I think is the second one for me. I think we all can agree with this is John Stockton. John Stockton is like I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. John Stockton, the third one, and honestly, John Stockton and I have to say Jason Kidd. So Steph Curry. John Stockton, Jason Kidd. Like Jason Kidd could do some things like some magical. We're talking about, Magic Johnson with his passing. Jason Kidd he was the fast break offense before it was actually popular. You know what I'm saying? In the mainstream popular. I know Pistol Pete. A lot of people saying Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete was before my time. I really didn't get to see him, but I think the fourth one for me is obviously Steve Nash. And honestly, I think that's truly it. I wouldn't necessarily put Scottie Pippen as a point, even though that he, kind of revolutionized the game. But the fourth one for me is gotta go. I don't know how to even say this. There's so many good point guards to choose from. So it's like, all right, do I want to do this? I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to give that spot to Magic Johnson because people forget what Magic Johnson did to the game. Like he was the guy that made that Showtime go. He was Showtime. He created that team based on his abilities. Every one of those guys was an asset to Magic's game. James Worthy, we're talking about Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like we talking about these guys who were an asset to his game. So Magic has to be in that top 5 as a point guard, man, for me.
That's true. That's cool. So Phil, you want me to go or you want to go?
I can go. I'm gonna go with Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Nash,
Okay.
John Stockton,
Okay.
and Isaiah Thomas.
Ooh.
And if I had to give a honorable mention, even though his career is not over yet, it's really two. You can either go Steph Curry or Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's good.
I think when you look at point guards, Chris Paul is not talked about. He's talked about. He's not talked about a lot.
Longevity.
He's
Longevity,
very like that's. He was the essential thing to being a point guard. You know, around 2000, around about what 2006 coming up. You know, around that era, that time, just that guy, pure point guard. So I can't leave Chris Paul out of there. I think when his career is said and done, he'll be one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. Yeah. But I never thought my list would be more similar to y'all's. I didn't think. I thought we all would have had something a little bit different, but it seemed like everybody got Steve Nash and Jason Kidd in there somewhere.
You got it, man. You got it, man.
You got it. So, but I'll jump on there real quick. I pretty much got the same people you got, but I do have a wild card in there. My I got a bunch of lines, so I had to cross out some folks. But my number one on my Mount Rushmore, I got number one. I gotta go with Magic. Magic, you know, a 6'9" point guard, passing like that, you know, scoring like that, and then he turned around and played center in Game 6 of the finals. My dad talks about it all the time because in his eyes, he thinks Magic Johnson is the greatest of all time, and I don't argue with that because my dad loved Magic Johnson. So number two, I gotta go with Isaiah, man. Man.
Whoa, two Isaiah.
I gotta go with Isaiah. I gotta go with Isaiah, man. I mean, people talk about how, you know, they talk about these great, but people kind of sleep on Zeke and how good he was, especially with them runs where they were winning championships. Him and Joe Dumars was probably one of the most solid backcourts in basketball. And everybody forgets that Zeke could put up 30 if he has to. If he had to, you know what I'm saying? So, and number three, you got to go with John Stockton. I mean, the all-time assist leader, you got to put him on your Mount Rushmore. Right. That man, and like I said, everybody talks about how what's the most unbreakable record in sports? John Stockton with the assist. I mean, when
that
Magic,
damn pick and roll with he and oh my god, that
it worked to perfection. It worked to perfection, man. It really did. And when Magic Johnson retired, I think he was still 2,000 or 3,000 assists behind John Stockton. So that lets you know how impactful he was. And then he'll give you like 15, 20. He was Nash before Nash. And number four.
Jared, before you go to number four, you talk about John. I think people didn't realize that he led when it came to point guards and steals.
Yeah, and steals.
Yeah. And the thing about it is he wasn't that quick. He just knew how to play the lanes. He really did. He really knew how to play the lanes. So, and number four, I gotta go with the glove. I gotta go with Gary Payton. I really do. I gotta go with Gary Payton. I gotta go with GP. I really do, because Gary Payton, to me, he's just like AI. He brought that swagger to the point guard position. He talked a lot of shit. And to me, personally, like Dennis Rodman, I think Gary Payton is probably the best defensive point guard in history. To me, he is. That man knew how to play defense. And you saw what he did to Michael Jordan in the finals. Even though Michael Jordan went off, he gave Michael Jordan hell when he guarded him. So, and I got to put Gary Payton up there. And honorable mention. This is kind of a wild card, another wild card that nobody really talks about, but he's a good player. He will be a great player when he's done. Got to go with Dame time up in Portland.
I figure you would say that. You're very much a Damian Lillard advocate. He is
very underappreciated. He is very underrated. And if he was in a bigger market like, say, New York or LA or even Miami, he would have had a bigger following. But playing for Portland, he doesn't get the respect he deserves, because before the NBA season was suspended, that man was on the tear. That man was putting up 40 plus. I mean, he dropped 48 when LeBron and them had the Kobe ceremony. After that man put up 48 points.
I initially had him as my MVP for this year.
He's very underrated. He's very underrated. Very
this year. My favorite game moment is when when he hit the buzzer beater against Houston,
Westbrook.
and then
Yeah.
he turned around and said,
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it against Westbrook, and I was so happy because he
Shut him
he
up.
just shut Westbrook up.
He had nothing to say.
I told everybody, I argued with everybody. I was like, now that shot, maybe I wouldn't have taken that shot. But when you're someone like Dame Time or you like Steph Curry, those shots look like perfect shots. So when he threw it up, I was like, oh, that's in. Because I remember we was all in the chat talking about it. I was like, hey, that's in. That's in.
Did it?
And I was like,
he didn't even look. He didn't even look at it. He shot it and walked off and he knew it was going.
He knew it was going. And when you're a great player like that, when you're a great shooter, you know when that ball is gonna fall in that basket.
Yeah.
You see Steph do it so many times, but when he threw that up, I was like, oh, that's in. That's good. Game over.
Yep.
Yeah. So nobody.
And not to mention versus one of the best two-way players that we have in the game.
Paul George shot it in his eye socket.
So I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
it, man. But yeah, I had to give Dame some love because nobody really talks about him. But my homeboy, little midget, and my boy D Block, they talk about it so much. But I gotta give Dame his props because, like I said, if he was playing in another city or with a major market, he would have been took off.
If he plays in Atlanta, he'll get more respect than he does in Portland. Is just a terrible basketball town for him. Just be honest, man.
Yeah. It don't even have to be one. It could have been Miami, Minnesota, OKC, even Houston. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere with a market. Right. You know what I'm saying? So,
but him signing that max contract with Portland, he ain't going nowhere.
Oh, he doesn't leave Portland. He even said that himself. He doesn't want to leave Portland. He wants to be the one to give Portland the championship. He wants to be the one to put them back on the map as a legit contender. So I think his longevity there is going to stay there. Sometimes I question it sometimes because, as you heard, KG said, you can only be loyal for so long before you want to leave and win a championship. You can only be loyal for so long.
Yeah, go ahead, Boom.
They need to get the supporting cast around him. But what I was going to say, with going through this Mount Rushmore, all of us had, or a lot of us mentioned John Stockton. So he's number one in all-time assists, 15,806.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about steal. You're talking about he's been retired almost 20 years.
He's talking about assists. That assist record will never be broken.
I think the closest was Steve Nash. That's the closest person.
I thought it was Magic. I thought it was Magic.
Magic Steve. One of them.
No.
Who is it?
Number 2 on this on the all-time assist list is Jason Kidd.
Oh wow.
Ooh. I mean,
wow. Well, we shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised.
Well, his total assists for his career, 12,091. That's the difference.
3,000 assists.
715.
Like I said, that record right there. If you want to talk about unbreakable record, two records will never be broken.
Oh, guess what number Magic Johnson is?
What number?
Number
I'll
5.
say 5. Yeah.
5. Yeah.
10,141. The 2 players above him, Mark Jackson and Steve Nash.
Yeah, somebody said Steve Nash is up there too. So 2 records.
I didn't expect Mark Jackson. He was a terrific point guard.
You know what? Playing with them Knicks with Ewan and Oakley and Starks, I can see that.
That's true, but I just thought Steve Nash would at least been number 2. You had Stoudemire, then you had Sean Marion going off for lobs. That was. They were technically Lob City before.
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. They were Lob City before Lob City. But
he's 50. He's 1,500 under Jason Kidd.
Wow.
So 2 records will never be broken. Before we move on, 2 records will never be broken in my eyes. Most assists in the career and most assists in the game. You know who has the most assists in the game? Scott Skiles had 30. I don't think that record will never be broken. Scott Skiles had 30. So
no, it's not. Especially in this new NBA.
It's not.
They ain't passing the damn thing. They ain't passing the damn thing.
I think I tried. It was one of those. It was one of those. On NBA 2K, it was one of those goals. You had to break it to unlock certain players. So I tried. I think the most I got was 28. I never got 30. The most I got was 28.
I've gotten to 30. Matter of fact, I even broke his record when it came to 2K. I got 35.
I got 28. I got 28 because when your team's down and your team is trash and you're the best scorer on the team, you got to start scoring. So, but with that being said, but go ahead.
So you mentioned steals, right?
Yeah.
Number one all-time steals, John Stockton, 3,265.
That's why I said, man, put some respect on John Stockton's name, man.
And then number two was Jason Kidd, 2,684.
That's funny. That's funny because I figured that Gary Payton would be ranked ahead of him because Gary Payton stole the ball a lot too.
Yeah, he did. He did, but
let me just go down this list. Number 3 is Michael Jordan with 2,514. And then number 4 is Gary Payton with 2,445.
I knew he was on that list somewhere.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Phil.
I kind of knew Jason Kidd was going to be would be up there more than Gary because when I would watch coming up, he could play the pass. He knew how to play the passing.
Play the passing lane, yeah.
Because he's a point guard himself. So how wouldn't you be, very educated on knowing where the ball is going to go? So I knew he would be up there. That's
crazy, man. It's crazy. It really is.
I knew he would be up there.
And the funny thing about it is, Triple G just pointed it out. That man averages almost 11 assists career-wise. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Put some respect on his name. And another thing I want to say before we move on, Gary Payton and Jason Kidd both came from Oakland. Like they played against each other before college and the NBA. They played on the street. They played the street ball game. So they pretty much knew each other. So
on this list, they do have a current player on this list, and I think he could be real close in the running for the top 3 before his career is done.
Mm-hmm.
Named by LeBron James. He has 2,011 steals.
I played 20 damn years. Of course he'll be on there. That's not surprising.
Oh man,
he should be. He should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with that being said, we're about to move on to our very last subject before we get out of here. We're gonna do another Mount Rushmore, but now we're gonna shift it over to the shooting guard. But I think this is going to be a little. I think this is going to be a little bit easier because I think all of us have pretty much the same people on this list. Probably a different order, but I'm pretty sure I have an inkling that the number one guy will be on all our lists. There will be a unanimous number one on the Mount Rushmore. So whoever wants to go first, I'm gonna let y'all handle it. Whoever wants to boom, if you want to go first, whatever you can go.
My list is staying the same because, like I mentioned before, I was never a big basketball fan like I am with football. Yeah. So my list is going to be the same. And again, you can call it, that's mainstream players that you putting on there. I don't give a fuck. That's my list.
Do what you got to do, man. Hey, like I said, some players play.
Some people, didn't. We're just joining. I'm just gonna go through my list. I don't care if they're shooting guards or point guards. This is my list. Number 4, John Stockton. Number 3, Steve Nash. Number 2, AI. Number 1, Michael Jordan. And then an honorable mention, Jason Williams, a.k.a. White Chocolate.
Okay. All right. Phil, you want to jump in on there and go?
When it comes to shooting guards, that's you had a
I think it's pretty clear cut. I think it's pretty clear cut though. To me,
I'm gonna go with Ray Allen, one of the best shooting guards that we had. Very, very efficient. Yep. Reggie Miller,
man, yeah.
Kobe Bryant. Now this is I'm just naming them. Now this is not in order.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan. So that was a tough one.
That was, it wasn't really tough because everybody pretty much had pretty much the same list. Honestly, to me,
if you think about it, now let's say, hypothetically, let's say Tracy McGrady Neville was hurt and he could play his whole years through. We talking about a whole different story. Because Tracy McGrady was that guy.
I forgot I got a lot of flack for saying this, and I probably get a lot of flack for saying this now. But I always said that if Tracy McGrady would have stayed fully healthy, he would have been better than Kobe.
I ain't gonna disrespect Kobe like
I'm
that.
There's no disrespect to Kobe.
There's no disrespect to Kobe, but I always thought that Tracy McGrady was more athletically gifted than Kobe was. To me.
And that's the thing. It's not about disrespect. It's disrespectful because we see where their careers have ended.
No. I just
when I say what to me, I just thought Tracy McGrady was
let me say this before you even finish that. Because I have a different criteria as far as shooting guards. I don't just take in offensive game. I take in defensive game as well. And when you look at defensively, McGrady wasn't as good as far as defensively as a Kobe. You would see Kobe Bryant, when he wanted to, when it was called, he would lock guys down. And that's where like Tracy McGrady, you can't deny when he was healthy, when he was T-Mac, a guy could put up 50, 40 points like it was nothing. So offensively, I think, those guys are equal. You could make the argument that he was a better offensive scorer than Kobe in his prime. But where I sit, like, there's more things. It's just more things to it shooting guard for me than I just say, okay, he's better than Kobe. He's better than Mike. Like for me, you have to put defensively what a guy does in the mix. You can't just look at one aspect of the game.
And I kind of agree with you on that. I do think that Kobe played better defense than Tracy McGrady, but as far as the all-around game, to me personally, all-around game, if Tracy McGrady would have never got hurt, I think he would
offensively all around.
All around defense, yeah. I think it's like this. If Kobe was like a 9 on defense, Tracy was like a 8.5.
I don't think he was that high though.
Yeah.
On defense. I don't think he was that high. But let me talk to Minnesota Falcon real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He said that I got John Stockton on a shooting guard. Well, if you didn't hear my explanation, I didn't follow basketball like
he didn't follow basketball like that.
So he's
that's just his Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
so,
that's his Mount Rushmore, but like I said before, this is no disrespect to Kobe at all. I just felt that Tracy McGrady had the skill set that could have rivaled Kobe. You know what? And I say this all the time: if Tracy McGrady never got hurt, Kobe and Tracy would have been that Magic Bird rivalry that they had. That could have been another great rivalry if Tracy McGrady would have never got hurt, because they both played the same position. They both came from high school. Both were long, lanky, could score. They could play defense. I mean, Kobe was a better defender than Tracy McGrady, but the fact of the matter is, both guys, they could hoop. They could flat out hoop. So that could have been that great rivalry if McGrady would have stayed healthy. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm not disrespecting Kobe, because we all know how great of a player Kobe is. That's just my opinion. I just felt, and like I said, I've died on this hill plenty of times. I've been to war about this. I've said that McGrady could have potentially been better than Kobe.
Yeah. Another guy, and I know a lot of people will say, what? But when I was growing up watching him, I thought had he stayed healthy, I thought he could have really made some noise and really turned some heads. Brandon Roy, for the
man, he was a forgotten hero, man. That dude was flat. He could flat out score too. Yeah.
And he was an underrated defender. And I just thought he had the longevity. If he could keep it up, he could have been somebody that we talk about to this day as being one of the greatest shooting guards that you have. But injuries are something.
Killer. It's a killer, man. Derailed a lot of careers.
Really Grant Hill. Look at Grant Hill. Like we're talking about some great players that were just derailed.
Everybody talks about LeBron. Grant Hill was that. He was LeBron before LeBron. I mean, not as far as the size and stuff, but Grant Hill was doing everything LeBron was doing now, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but go ahead.
one player that I didn't hear anyone mention, not even myself, for a shooting guard, Vince Carter.
I thought Carter played. You know what? I thought he played forward though. LaDonna, that's your boy. What position he played?
No, he played shooting guard as well. He and T Mac. He was.
He played two. He played shooting guard and small forward.
See, that's what I'm saying. He's one of those guys where
He's
like you did with Iverson. Iverson could have been a point guard. Some people put him point guard. Some people put shooting guard. He's one of those.
I think it's easy.
Players.
What I think is easier to do. We're just gonna eliminate one guy. We're not gonna put him on any list. It's James Harden. We're not putting that damn volume.
Look, I don't have James Harden anywhere on any of my Rushmores. The only Rushmore I have him on is flopping. Him and LeBron are on the flopping Rushmore.
40 shots a night.
I'm trying to tell you.
Be on top every list, goddamn, every score list. If you shooting that many times,
right? Exactly. So
if we're gonna throw, and you know what, not to be, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. James Harden, he can score the basketball. He can score the basketball.
Yeah,
but before I put James Harden on there, I'll put Manu Ginobili up there before I put James Harden up there.
Yeah.
You know what? Manu Ginobili is another player that nobody really talks about, but he was a key piece in the run. He really was. He really was.
Did everything you asked of him. Everything you asked.
He could be the sixth man, the starter.
Should have been a starter on any team. Any team. A starter, flat out starter.
But like I said, he's just like Dennis Rodman. He knew his role. He knew what he needed to do to win, and that's what made him great. And the fact that he was drafted in the second round as well, that says a lot. That really says a lot. So, but Phil, I'm gonna let you go. If you're done, I'll have my list ready whenever you're finished.
Oh, I am done. My list is complete. I'm content with my list. I said Ray Allen. I said Dwayne Wade. I said Kobe, I said Michael, and I said Reggie. I'm content with my list.
Right. That's good. That's a good list, though. Like I said before, I think the shooting list was a lot easier because it's pretty much everybody's same type of player. But in true Dre fashion, I do have a wild card as an honorable mention.
It better not be no damn DeMar DeRozan either. It better not be.
DeMar DeRozan is not a bad. He is a terrific shooting guard. I wouldn't put him on my Mount Rushmore, but he's a terrific shooting guard. Just can't get over the hump. You just can't get over the hump.
So, but this is my list. I'm gonna go 1 to 4, and then I have my honorable mention. Number 1, of course, is the GOAT, Michael Jordan. You got to put him on there, of course. Number 2, the late great Kobe Bryant. Number 3, Dwayne Wade. Number 4, Allen Iverson. And then I have my wild card that nobody talks about, but he was an integral part of a great basketball team. We're gonna show some love to Mitch Richmond.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. So
y'all remember? Well, you may not know, but I know Mike and Phil probably know who he is. If y'all remember the Run TMC days with him and Chris Mullin and Tim Hardaway, that man knew how to shoot the basketball. That man was a 6-time All-Star. I think he averaged 25 a game. That man knew how to flat out hoop, and everybody talks about the Showtime Lakers, and everybody talks about the Warriors, how they run and gun. Y'all forgot about that Run TMC back in the day. Y'all forgot about Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, and Mitch Richmond, where they used to fill up the bucket, outscoring everybody. So when people talk about how great Golden State was, like I said, this is no disrespect to Curry and what Curry and Clay and Kevin Durant did when they was running up and down and just flat out shooting everybody. But we gotta show some love to that Run TMC. And I know my old heads, if they listening right now, they knew who Run TMC was because them boys knew how to score. Them boys knew how to score. Everybody forgets how Tim Hardaway was, even though. And then, you know what? I wish I would put him. He's another honorable. Tim Hardaway. Nobody really talks about him that much. What he brought to the game. Tim Hardaway as well.
Let me go ahead, Mike. I got to say this, man. Of course, we know Mike and Kobe. Those guys are 1-2. Gotta throw Ray Allen in there, and I have to. I don't. I wouldn't necessarily call him a shooting guard necessarily, but I got to throw Dominique in there as shooting guard also. I think Dominique is a guy that kind of played both roles with the Hawks. I'm just going to throw him in there as shooting guard, and this guy, um, you guys are probably going to say, well, how can you forget about him? But Reggie Miller doesn't get a lot of respect either, man.
Yeah, that's
Reggie
why
Miller.
Phil put him on the list.
Reggie Miller is like he like Steph for me. The guy could run all damn day. Like god dang, like this dude would run half a damn mile around the 3-point circuit. He would never get tired. He would never ever get tired. And what I love most about Reggie is his little ass had a lot of heart, man. This dude had a ton of heart. He was not going to be bullied by anybody, despite his size. You know what I'm saying? And
you saw how he went against Mike. Him and Mike had the battle, man.
Bro, he went at any and everybody, and that's why I always, you know, when a shot need to be made, Reggie Miller was one of your guys, bro.
Ask the New York Knicks. Ask Spike Lee. Ask Spike Lee how cold Reggie Miller was. Ask him. But yeah, I gotta give love to Mitch Richmond, and plus, he was the first person on NBA Live that I bought the video game from, so that's how I remember him. But
boy, if you don't get off these damn video games tonight, what the hell is wrong with you, Drake? We know what you've been doing all week. Been playing video games, ain't you?
Hey, man.
I mean, I would too. After buying a PS4, that's about to be non-existent in a couple of months.
First off, it's the Rona. The Rona is the reason why. So I mean,
one of my ass.
You know what I'm saying? But no, seriously, with all due respect, though, I mean, this man averaged 21 career-wise. He averaged 21, 4, and 4 assists, and he was Rookie of the Year. I mean, nobody really talks about him because he gets lost in the shuffle, but he was a pretty solid point guard. So I mean, that's my Mount Rushmore of shooting guards, and I'm pretty sure next week LaDonna's going to lay out the game plan for the centers, the power forwards, and the full and small forwards. She'll probably just do it all at once because I think our list will pretty much be the same with those as well. It might be some differences as well, but
I think when it comes to the big men, it'll be a little bit different.
It'll be a little bit different, but I think Shaq will be somewhere on all our Rushmore somewhere. Shaq will be somewhere, you know. So I mean, unless you're a full blown hater, see, there go Mike. He already talked about. I don't know if I want to put him on my list yet, you know.
But you know what? And call me crazy, but like I said, everybody has a different era when they were growing up and watching basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It was one guy that when I was watching, I kind of idolized, and nobody really talks about him, but he played so much like Reggie, and I love watching him. Richard Rip Hamilton could run those screens.
You know what? It was a toss-up between him and Mitch, but I put Mitch before Rip because Mitch had the more longevity, but them Detroit Piston years where he was playing in Detroit, man, you couldn't tell that mask. He would run people ragged.
Right.
Ask Kobe. Kobe couldn't keep up with him. Kobe was like, you know what? Somebody else guard him.
Now, I really wish he'd have got more recognition. And I think had he not been on the Detroit Pistons team, I think he would have been a much, much better piece to someone else's team. Didn't
he used to play for the Bulls too? I think he used to play for
the Wizards. He played for the Wizards,
and I think he played for the Bulls. And then he found his niche in Detroit before or after he went to Chicago. I'm not sure. I know he played for the Bulls. I think.
I just think that he was one of those guys that you were like, okay, this could be the next Reggie. You didn't really see him take a lot of threes, but I love the fact that he was mid-range.
He loved that mid-range. He loved that mid-range.
He could work those angles in that mid-range like nothing, and it sucks that you don't get he doesn't get the recognition. I'm not saying he's on the Mount Rushmore, but he was a terrific shooting guard, and he just really never got that credit.
And, you know, and that's the thing with the NBA. There's a lot of players. They're the flavor of the month, and a lot of these solid players get lost in the shuffle. guys like Rip Hamilton, Mitch Richmond, and they get lost in the shuffle, but they were really good players. They really were, and that's the beauty of the NBA. Like a lot of these players that we're talking about now, these young cats need to watch them because they were fundamentally sound. Like, everybody loves the dunk, everybody loves the 3-pointer, but if you want to watch a good mid-range shooter, go watch a Rip Hamilton video. That's all he shot was mid-range. He'll come off that curl, Chauncey your hand on the ball. As soon as he come off that cut, I'm telling you so. But with that being said, I think we're at the end. LD, we're at the end. I think we're at the end. Yep, we are at the end, fellas. This has been another great show. Whoever wants to go first with their parting shots, they go on ahead. I think this was a good night. And whoever wants to start first, I think Mike wants to go because he's scratching his forehead. So
I'm just going to say this. Kind of pissed me off early and like really, really irritated me. And I made a video. I decided against posting it because every other word was motherfucker, you bitch, this, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about those pieces of garbage that runs the NCAA. All right. Those are, and I was informed that they had changed their mind on it, but they really showed their true colors today. And for me, man, it's nothing more than, and it's basically slavery, man. You make billions of dollars off these guys every year. We're talking about every year you make $1 billion easily off of these guys, and you tell me that you can't give these guys the opportunity to put together a freaking GoFundMe page to help out guys of this coronavirus, epidemic right now, and you tell me that it goes against the rule? No. The reason why they changed their mind is because they didn't want to live up to the backlash. All right. They meant everything that they did. They don't care about the players. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. The only reason why they changed their mind, and I haven't seen it, I'm basically just going off of what I've been told, that they changed their mind and said that no, they're going against it. And that shows me that we're talking about a guy like Trevor Lawrence. These guys are not going to make money. They're not going to make money until they enter the draft and leave. And these guys are being paid a couple of thousands of dollars. We're talking about a couple of thousands of dollars. After you've made billions of dollars on national TV using these young men and women, and they can't create a damn GoFundMe page because it goes against your rules. You guys deserve everything that comes to you. If your ass end up getting the Rona, I made this motherfucking laugh, right? I'm just gonna be honest because you deserve every negative thing that comes your way because you meant everything that you did. When you said that it goes against your rules and you said that Trevor Lawrence wasn't allowed to help people, let's think about that for a second. Trevor Lawrence, you're not allowed to help people. Just think about that in itself. It goes against your fucking rules to help people. It's disgusting, bro. It's disgusting. And for me, I know a lot of people love college football.
Yeah, I know how I feel about
it. It turns me off. Like we talk about NBA owners, we talk about NBA owners, we talk about NFL owners, even Major League Baseball owners. But it's nothing more disgusting than those son of a bitches at the NCAA. They are rotten scumbags. Every last one of them just rotten scumbags, man. And I mean every freaking word. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like we've sat through 45 and crap, but this for me just takes the cake. You tell me this guy can't help people in bad. We're talking about times of need where no one is really working. Nobody, like the world has basically been turned upside down by this. And the first thing that you're thinking is he can't help people. That's absolutely. That's all I got to say.
You know what Alvin Mack used to call them in the program? The NC double assholes. That's what he called them. So it's crazy. It really is. It really is. It's and this is why, that's why I'm strictly pro player. That's why I'm strictly pro player on a lot of things, because these guys these owners and these organizations make billions of dollars. You know how much the NCAA lost on canceling March Madness? A good, like $1.52 billion off of March Madness alone. So that means as much as I sympathize, because me personally, I love March Madness. It's one of my favorite times of the year. I have no sympathy for the NCAA. I really don't, because the way that you see how Mike, you remember they suspended Todd Gurley because he signed the autograph.
Yeah.
They suspended AJ Green because he signed the autograph, or he auctioned off the helmet or something. But then you turn around, I go to these bowl games, because I've been to a lot of bowl games. I've been to the CFP, I've been to the Final Four or whatever. And you see these same objects that the players are getting suspended for, getting kicked off the team. The NCAA is selling it or auctioning it off and making a profit. I'm like, that's hypocrisy 101. Like, this is why you see a lot of players leave early. This is why you see, especially in basketball, you see these one and done players, or they just totally skip the process and go to the NBA, or they go overseas. Or I know Maurice Claret and Mike Williams was trying to just completely skip the NFL, the NCAA football, and go straight to the NFL after their freshman year. This is why, because they're tired of being. I don't want to say the P word because it's a family show. They're tired of being extorted. I was going to say the other word, but I'm not going to say that. But they're tired of being extorted or used or exploited. Exploited is a better word. They're tired of being exploited by the NCAA for financial gain, and they can't make money off of their image. That's why NCAA football got canceled, because Ed O'Bannon said, "Hey, you're using my likeness to get paid. I want some of the pie too." I mean, I got mad about that, but I understood where he was coming from, because I would be the same way. If you're going to use my likeness to get a financial gain, you got to break me off some of that bread. You're going to have to break me off something. You're not just going to use my likeness and then I don't get paid and you just be like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. No, that's me on the TV, the H-back 36 with the bad legs.
Right.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm like, I that's why I didn't have no sympathy. The only sympathy I had was the players and the fans that missed out, because everybody knows March Madness is probably one of the biggest spectacles in sports, pro or college, because everybody comes out with the brackets, everybody comes out with the monies, the pools, and the bets and all that stuff. Everybody knows that.
And it doesn't matter if people watch it or watch college basketball or not. They're going to watch.
They're still going to watch it. Right. They're still going to watch it because the unpredictability of the game. And it's just the fact that you want to see these guys go out there and bust their ass for all the hard work they did. Correct. So I feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for the NCAA. I don't. I really don't. Because
it's all about the players.
It's all about the players. It's not about them, because guess what? When college football starts, they're going to get all that money back. All these bowl games and people paying tickets to go watch these big games.
Watch out for the prices. They might go.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Georgia and Alabama game is going to be an arm and a leg. I'm pretty sure of that. It's going to be an arm and a leg. But go ahead, Phil. I know you say you want to say something.
It's not only that. I'm just touching to it before I go with my partner shot. It's not only that. You got to think about all the old games that they show. You still get royalties from that. You still get money from that.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. I mean, it's not even about the new games that are going to come on. You look at the old games, the classics that they do play and show. You're still profiting off of that. You're still profiting off people's names.
and they get nothing from it. Like that's crazy, man. That's
So you're basically upset over a player that is trying to help out with what's going on in this country or worldwide. But
Right.
you said it's illegal to do, but the same player that is playing in the bowl game, you get $30 million. You know, college football. If you make the CFP semifinal, each university that makes the CFP final, they get 30 million. That 30 million, they get 30 million for that university.
Don't go to the players. That don't go to the players. The players get a couple thousand off of it, if that.
They don't even get that. You know what they get? They get gift bags. They get gift cards. They get headphones. They don't get the money. The money goes to the university that's spread out amongst the other sports. If you make the college football playoff as a university, that university gets 30 million. When Georgia made it, they got 30 million. Oklahoma made it, got 30 million. Alabama got 30 million. Ohio State got 30 million. You know what the players got? They got a fucking Chick-fil-A gift card. But you're mad at a guy that's trying to help out the community. Like, where's that? Matter of fact, it's Trevor Lawrence, right? Where was Dabo Swinney in this? Why he didn't give up some of the money he's made? Because I'm pretty sure Clemson just gave him an extension. He's one of the highest paid coaches in football. You telling me that you can go to bat for your player that's trying to do a cause? Why you didn't match that? Why you didn't stick up for him? You know why? Because like you said, Mike, it's a business. It's a business. Even though it's college football, it's a business. It's a money-driven business. NCAA makes billions of dollars off the players' backs.
That's right. It's $1 billion.
It's $1 billion. That you know how much money they make during the college football playoff?
Yeah, they
one bowl game, one semifinal bowl game generates maybe anywhere between 50 and 70 million. Because the city has to pay you, the NCAA pay, and then the sponsors and all about 50, 60 million. That's just for one game. So imagine two.
And you get money from the stations too, Fox, CBS, or
ESPN just paid the SEC network another $300 million renewal contract. $300 million.
Ridiculous.
So you're getting mad at a guy that's trying to raise $50,000 for a cause, but you're banking all this money. Like I said, the NCAA is like the government, corrupt as fuck. It really is. It really is. So, but that's my rant, because that's what I was gonna say what Mike said, but he kind of said it, and I just got it in. But and I said it before, and I said it when I was at Boom and LaDonna House. When people was making fun of these kids or saying these kids are not playing in their bowl games because they're getting ready for the draft. You know why? Because the NFL's got, as much as I criticize the NFL for how they pay their players, guess what? The NFL is going to pay them to do a service. You're not. You're not going to pay them. You're not going to pay them to do a service. You're not. You're just going to chastise them for doing the right thing and still pocket billions of dollars. That's why that's why Alabama got these state-of-the-art weight rooms. That's why Georgia got this big-ass practice field. This is why Texas got this nice ass stadium. This is why Oklahoma has renewal. This is why they off the players' backs. And this is why when everybody talks about football and basketball are not important, they're the two major sports in football. I mean, in college sports, football, basketball, and baseball. That's where the most money comes from. Ain't nobody going to see no golf. Ain't nobody going to see no tennis. Ain't nobody going to see. I mean, track and field. Yeah, track and field too. Track and field generates money, but it's not on the same. It's not on the same level as football, basketball, and baseball. But do you get on ESPN and you see, this is an epic golf matchup? You don't see that. You know why? Because golf programs. Even I read an article. I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna send it to you guys, and I want you to read it. Even the golf players said if it wasn't for the football program, we wouldn't have a golf program, because you know why? That 30 million gets split. It gets split to all different types of sports. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So everybody gets a piece. So me as a football player, I'm like, shit, I'm working for everybody. Everybody's feeding off me. I feel like a cow with all the titties right now. Feeding off me. So I mean, everybody's feeding off me.
I thought you were going to say udders. You said titties. Wow.
Titties.
Not udders.
Others,
Titties.
but they feeding off
Breasts.
football is the cow, and everybody's feeding off the cow, right? Every sport's feeding off the cow. I should have worn it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but with that being said, it's Trevor. Just keep your head up, man. I mean, I think LaDonna said that they reversed it. I'm not sure. I know they didn't reverse a lot of things, but man, just keep your head up. Have a solid year of football, and just get ready for the draft because you're going to be a top 5 pick next year. You're definitely going to be a top 5 pick next year. Tua, like I said, even I was mad when Tua played and he got hurt. He shouldn't have played. He should have just waited it out because when they got knocked out by Auburn, he should have just stayed out. He shouldn't even played when they got knocked out, or not Auburn, when they lost to LSU. He should have stayed out. They wasn't going to make the playoff. He should have just been like, you know what, I'm just chill for the rest of the year and just get ready for the draft. So, just players, if you're out there playing, or if you know somebody that's playing and they're thinking about going to the next level, weigh your options. Really weigh your options because, like I said, one play away, and that's it. That really is. That's all I gotta say about that. So I'm good.
Well, I've got to take the glasses off on this.
Oh shit! Is you gonna say fuck Brock Lesnar or no?
No, I'm not Brock. I'm gonna say fuck Vince.
Oh man,
You had the opportunity to cancel WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid all of this and all your people home. Let them stay healthy and all that. Now you got 2 cases, coronavirus going around. Dana Brooke is being quarantined, and so is Rey Mysterio. You know how many people there is in your organization and how many people they've come in contact with on a daily? This could easily.
Before you say anything, Phil, Dante brought up another point. Roman, you know, he just came back from leukemia. He could be.
Yes.
That could be deadly.
Yes. Very fatal.
Yeah.
Very, very fatal.
Yeah.
You've just, like, you know how many people they could have exposed, and it's not even their fault. They didn't even know they had it. And you had the opportunity to avoid all of this. You could have done it with everybody did. Cancel or just prolong it to a later date.
Yeah.
So it kind of pisses me off because you're making money off of something that you have now put your people in jeopardy of. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot more to be tested and a lot more to come up positive for that. And that's what kind of pissed me off because you had the opportunity to cancel. It could have been delayed, all of that. You decided to keep going with it because you see money. You went from having what was 101,000 was the greatest attendance at that time. And it's going to 0. So you still made history. You made history already. 0 attendance. 0.
Right.
And then you have the nerve to say, well, it's so big that we can't show it on one night. We're going to span it over 2 nights. Bullshit. You could have delayed it. You really could have delayed it. You didn't think about the performers. You didn't think about anything else. You just thinking about money at this point. Yeah, it'll be on ESPN. Yeah, it'll be on the network. People can watch it during the network. But let's think about all the people that are affected who bought tickets. I mean, think about the performers that you have. 2 people have it. It's only a matter of time before we hear, well, this person has it and that person has it. And we know some wrestlers that have some serious health issues. Roman. And they're exposed. They're going to be exposed to it. We're talking about Roman. Let's not forget about Jerry the King Lawler. He too has had some heart issues, respiratory issues. He's had, so you've just exposed so many people with that, and you could have canceled. You could have avoided all of that. Now, I applaud you for trying to keep it, where you don't want to disappoint the people who bought tickets who are not going to be able to be there. Understand that. But now your performers, they have it. We don't know who else Dana and Ray came in contact with. We don't know who else. That's a lot. And if more to be named, like I said, this falls squarely on his shoulders. Squarely. It all could have been avoided.
Yep, it could have. It could have. It sounds like what's that? What's the other one? It sounds like the military right now. I read a couple articles where a couple sailors got exposed to the coronavirus, and guess what? Still business as usual. So I mean, it's a trying time right now.
I joked about it.
Yeah,
I joked about it, but I said it at my job. I told everybody at the job, you got a 5 cough minimum in here. Anything over 5 coughs, you got to go. You going home.
You're gonna have it on the list, right? But it's what Mike said. When you a whore for money, you're gonna be a whore for money regardless. So
This and to kind of add to this before Boom close this out, but to add to that, it really showed me where his heart is at this point. Because you have he is the Stone Cold. He is the Shawn Michael. He is the Undertaker right now. He is the money guy for the WWE, and he has a very serious. He just came back from a very serious health issue. And you're throwing these guys out. Just say, you know what? Look, we're gonna keep moving. Everyone else, like we're talking about baseball, football, basketball, like track and field, like the Olympics will cancel. So this is very serious. And for
that lets you know it's serious when the Olympics say, you know what, we're gonna chill to next year. We're gonna do it next year.
We're going right. That tells you everything. And Vince is like, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna do this anyway. That tells me that you don't care about the well-being of your wrestlers. That he's always says that the wrestlers' health comes first. But I call bullshit on this one. This is the only time that I've actually said to myself that Vince literally does not give a fuck about the people who is making money for him.
Yeah, and not only that, and I said it, the coronavirus was a blessing to the WWE, and here's why. WrestleMania was gonna suck ass this year. With or without the fans.
You know what? I didn't even remember when LaDonna said something about Elimination Chamber. I was like, "Oh, that's tonight." I didn't even know.
You didn't even say, "Well, you know what? Let's pull back. Let's regroup. Let's see if we can do something better." No, you want to keep going with this. You want us to watch Roman versus Old Bird. That's what you want us to see.
I like Goldberg, but I was like, you know what?
Not to mention that. Think about Goldberg at his age. He's not as healthy as he once was. And not only that, you taking part of him. Then you got the Undertaker too. So I mean, come on, dog. These guys are old.
That should have been. You know what? When him and Undertaker wrestled, and Undertaker got pissed off because Goldberg botched his move. That should have been the end of it. That right there.
Well, I mean that too, but Goldberg had hit his head that earlier. He didn't realize how serious it was. And as the match kept going, that's when he botched. He started feeling the effects of it then. But in his mind, he thought he was okay, but it showed when he dropped Taker on his damn neck. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that was a brain buster. That wasn't a jackhammer. When did he pull this out of his book, his repertoire, if you want to say, his bag of tricks?
Yeah, Taker wasn't too happy about that from what I heard. He wasn't too happy about that.
Yeah, but like I said, it could have been canceled. It could have just been delayed. I'm telling you now, Vince, if I hear anything about Bianca Belair having coronavirus, I'm coming for you, dog. I'm coming for you, dog. I'm coming for you.
We all gonna hey look, we all gonna ride to West Newbury or wherever Connecticut is. We're gonna ride up there.
Dog.
We're gonna ride up there, man. I don't even know who Bianca Belair is, but I'll be in the back seat.
Coming for you, dog.
Bianca and Bray, stay. Let those. This
well, like I said,
nah, Bray too crazy. Coronavirus, I think twice before coming for him. Man.
But like I said, I'm more concerned about Roman because he just came back from that illness. So
Him and Jerry are the ones that came to mind to me. Those were the two people that I was just like, hey, you know, especially Jerry. We saw on national TV how Jerry passed out, and they had to go to commercial to see what was going on. Man was having a heart attack, almost didn't make it, and you put him back in. You put him in that situation. You put Roman Reigns, who's battling leukemia, cancer. He's battling that. Came back from it twice, and you had the opportunity to shut things down, and you didn't. And it just shows me you're no better than the NCAA. You're no better. You're no better. You may be paying these guys, but come on, their health, their families are more important. And you got to think about it. Like Kim said, Rey Mysterio is a star all over, even at his age. So you know he comes in contact with a lot of fans, a lot of people from his hometown, where he's a lot of people. And that's just not saying Rey. All of these guys, from Bianca Belair to Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, the Roman Reigns, the John Cenas, the Undertakers, AJ Styles, all these guys have big followings. And then, then sometimes, and then you look at it. I'm not John Cena fan per se, but I do respect
even your boy. Even your boy got some. Good old Brock.
I'm not a fan of John Cena, but I do respect what the guy has done. If you want to do a Mount Rushmore when it comes to wrestling, he's gonna be there, but you like him or not. Definitely. And I'm just like, then you got all these people. You got these Hall of Famers that were gonna be there. They're in their old ages. It's too much. And you canceled NXT TakeOver, and you canceled the Hall of Fame ceremony, but you didn't cancel WrestleMania. What sense did that make?
None.
Not only that, you decided to put it over a span of 2 nights. So that's 2 nights. 2 nights. And I'm just like, okay, dude, you reaching. Then where's the cap? Like, you're capping right now. Like, you're really capping. You're pushing the issue, and it's crazy. Like I said, I wish those guys well. I hope they do have if they're gonna go through it, I hope they have a terrific performance. We already know there's stuff added on to this WrestleMania that we knew for a fact that wasn't supposed to be on there. So, I mean, it's good if you're a wrestling fan. You get to see 2 nights of just nonstop action, but at this point, it's really not worth it. I really wanted him to say, "Hey, let's do away with this for right now. Let's make sure everything's in order. Everybody gets the treatment that they need. Everybody's watching themselves." But you didn't do that, and it just shows me that you just said, "Hey, I want this money. I want this money." You weren't about what others. You weren't about sponsors. You weren't about all these other guys. Fuck them, because at the end of the day, they have families too. What if we wanted them to keep doing what they're doing? No, you need to come on TV. You need to go out in these streets and report this, do that, and put them at risk. Then it's a different story, because then you want to say, "Hey, I got a family. I don't want to." Well, think about how these guys feel that you're paying, that are employed by you. Look at their health. Look at their families. What this means to the future, because this is not something that's just going to go away overnight. And I think that's what people don't realize. We're talking about something that's going to keep spreading. Even if you do find a cure, even if you do find something that can neutralize it, it's still going to spread because of how things are. You see places totally shut down. I just found out school. I was at work and I was so pissed. I was having a good day. I just found out the kids don't go back till May. I don't want the damn kids in the house till May. You might as well say let them go back in when August starts. When they go back to school.
Virginia just canceled school for the rest of the year, and Florida, they don't go back until April 20th or April 16th or something.
No. Here is May. That means I got to look at your face when I'm off. I got to look in your face every morning. That wasn't my plan. I don't have kids.
Well, just be glad you don't stay in Virginia, because Virginia said we'll see y'all next year.
And I'm telling you now, if I was in Virginia could kiss my whole ass, because they'd found something for these kids to do until then. I can guarantee you that. I mean, come on, man. This is something. If schools shut down, if schools are shutting down, Jobs are shutting down. And damn it, you could have shut down WrestleMania. It's one night, one show. It would not have killed you because you could have gone on at a later date and put up. And not only that, you could have put up a better production on than what you're about to put on and show us now. So I'm not interested in seeing this bullshit.
You know they're not. But Bo, you gonna close this out, man, so we can go and get up out of here.
So, with going off of pretty much ties into everything that what you started with, what Dre filled in with, and what Phil just talked about. Coronavirus is affecting everyone, whether you like it or not. Coast to coast. It does not matter. If your county is one of the few counties that's not affected, have a person who's affected by it, it will be soon. If we don't take care of this social distancing. Understand what's that doing. The further apart you are from the people out there, the flatter the curve is going to be and easier to maintain. So if you're not going to follow that, doesn't matter if you get sick, but you may carry it to someone who will and may not survive.
Right.
And then what affected me last week or my family last week is when we were trying to go buy groceries, when we were trying to find chicken, beef, but we couldn't find nothing because people started panic buying.
Right.
My family does not eat pork. I don't eat pork because I'm Muslim. My son is a Muslim. He can't eat pork. My wife, she made her choice not to eat pork. So we can't go buy pork or go buy beef that's 80% beef, 20% pork put together. We can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So with all this panic buying, it's clear who's panic buying because all the meat's gone, but all the seasoning on the shelves. So it's clear who's panic buying. Yeah. So with all this panic buying, you're leaving families like myself, my family, with nothing to eat, potentially nothing to eat. Right. Eventually, after scouring stores online and whatnot, we did find some, but what we did, they had only put limits on how much you can buy because of them being out of everything, out of toilet paper, out of Lysol spray. I had to go to Walmart and find those little bottles of travel cans of Lysol spray. That's all I could get. And do you know where I got the hand sanitizer from? I got 2 little bottles from the FedEx store. Wow. I mean, I can't. There's a lot of families, not just mine, but there's a lot of us because of people who panic buy. You're leaving the rest of the family is vulnerable. They can go starve. I mean, hell, how many times have we seen with the media saying, or even the article spread around saying, if your kids can't eat because they're not going to school, let me know. We'll provide. And then now you're panic buying, and those families can't even buy the little things that they need to buy to feed the little ones.
Right.
Those are the people that just need to go, and they need to understand what type of effect it's doing. And it's fucking ridiculous. Like right now we are good, but what about next week? Now we have to go out, and now we have here in Denton, Texas, we got the shelter in place put in place that goes into effect tomorrow. Now, if I go out there and try to go find something, stop saying, "Hey, why the hell are you out here?" I'm gonna say I'm trying to get essentials for my family, and then I go to 4 or 5 different stores. I can't buy that shit.
Right. And it's not even the panic button at this point. It's just about selfishness.
And the only thing I can do is go to McDonald's just so my family can have that one meal that day, because I can't find nothing else. And then tomorrow I gotta do the same thing. Gotta go to McDonald's or a fast food joint to get a carry out. And again, I get stopped by whoever. It
just shows you.
So all this, people saying, you need to stay at home, need to just protect yourself so that you can also, with that, protect everyone else around you in your community, your city, your state. But if you're not going to do that, don't buy up everything. Think about the people who haven't had the chance because of work, because they're taking care of the sick one, they're taking care of a family or something, because they haven't had the opportunity to go out and get something. And then when they do, all they're going to see is empty shells. But shells full of seasoning, though. Clearly, you know who's fucking panicking.
Yeah. You look at other countries, you see tons of stuff on their shelves. They're not panicking like that. And my thing is, it's to the point where Americans have shown me of how selfish they really are, because it's ridiculous. You didn't think about the next family. I understand they said stock up, but they didn't mean to that the levels that some of you went to. I'm looking at people carts and you got 15, 20 bottles of hand sanitizer and Lysol. First of all, if you wash your goddamn hands, you don't need that much Lysol and hand sanitizer. You don't need it. If you do what you're supposed to do, what they're telling you to do. And I do believe what some of the doctors saying, that the media has blown this way out of proportion, because I really think they have. And they really struck fear into people. But my thing was, if you listen to what they're saying and how it starts, if you wash your hands and you clean and sanitize any surface area that you're going to come in contact with, you will be fine. It didn't say go and buy all the damn Lysol, hand sanitizer, and Lysol wipes, Clorox wipes in the world.
And my question is,
it didn't say that.
My question is this: what does the coronavirus have to do with your ass? Because the people bought all this damn toilet paper.
You know, somebody.
I'm trying to figure that out.
A wise man told me the other day, it's respiratory, not aspiratory. So I want to know why.
I don't know, because
you went and bought all this toilet paper. Like, first of all, they never said coronavirus is going to give you the runs. See, I never read that. I didn't read that. The hell is you stocking up on toilet paper for? And you know what? And for the lady who's in the store that I saw, and you bought them 30 gallons of milk, you better have drunk every last gallon of that damn milk within them 2 weeks. You better have
30 gallons, bro. 30 gallons, bro.
I would pray and hope that you did buy some for people, and that's why you were in the store. But if it was just for you, you better have drunk every last drop. I mean, you better have cut the damn plastic and drunk the very last drop that was at the bottom. Because that was just pure selfishness. I don't get why people did that. But I got something for y'all. I promise you, because when this is all said and done, and you know how some people like for their houses to smell good, I'm buying all the Febreze off the shelf. All of it. You can never know what Febreze smell like no more. I'm buying all of it off the shelf.
That now so that they can be out.
I'm buying all the Febreze off the shelf.
And then this also shows how stupid people are. Yeah, when you go to the beer section, all the beers are gone except for Corona. What the hell does beer Corona have to do with the fucking coronavirus?
Well, hey,
and it's cheap. I'm going to get me some this weekend. Be drunk the fuck down.
Hey, Samani, they had a poll and they said that 40% of Americans said they won't drink it now because they think they have the coronavirus in it. That just tells you where our country is right now.
Oh my gosh!
Tell you where it is right now. So, but with that being, but go ahead, man.
With that, my thing, I want to express to the people that are listening and to people that may have panic buy. Think about a small family. It's like me, my wife, and my child. I mean, if you have a kid and you try to go out and buy groceries and make sure he is fed or she is fed, and you can't find nothing. Come on, put yourself in someone else's shoes, man. Just for before you buy up all the goddamn beef and chicken.
Yeah.
And as I told people, I said everybody, for a few that know the line of work that I do, I don't have that time to keep going to the store because I'm mainly at my job. So when I get off and I'm going to the store and I'm like, everything is just bare, it's empty. I'm like, yo, what is this? What's going on? And the minute that they stock it up, the same people who bought a majority of it, they go back and they go back. I'm telling you now, it just showed me how selfish the U.S. can be, how U.S. citizens are, how selfish. You didn't think about the elderly who really can't get out and walk around and do the things that they do. I would hope some of that stuff that you did rack up on, that you did give it to someone who could not afford to, or could not physically and able to go and do these things. But knowing some of these people here, it was all for themselves, and it's quite sad. But boom, I'm with you. Starting tomorrow, because I'm off. I'm going to every store and I'm buying all the Febreze. I don't care what
Hey man, hey look,
you got to come through me if you want your house to smell good from now.
Hey, make sure you send me a bottle, bro. I just want one bottle, just one. I'll pay for it. Don't price gouge me though, like some of these motherfuckers out here. Don't price gouge me though.
$100 a bottle.
There you go. See, you sound like Diddy with the Ciroc now.
Hey, look, even Kimberly said there was a woman that was in tears because all the diapers were gone.
Yeah, that's crazy. It was like I watched the video.
So you're stocking up on toilet paper and diapers?
You got me, but
Yeah, and my wife said, "God, good Lord!" And then not only that, people that use the wipes and flush them down the toilet, they gonna have some problems with the fucking plumbing. The wipes are not supposed to go down the toilet.
I don't care if they say disposable. I still don't put them down the joint. I still tell the kids, hey, put it in the trash can. I'll take it out. Do not put that down the toilet. That is something that you talking about some money being spent. You trying to fix a sewage problem, a septic tank that explodes or erupts. You talking about money that you're gonna be spending. And I ain't stepping in no damn shit water in no backyard because y'all stupid.
Oh man, that was my take, man. That you get be distant, go out for only essentials, and when you do go out, take your precautions. And then when you come back home, take your precautions again. Wash your hands, wash your face. Clean up those plastic and the cardboard boxes that you just got. Clean those up too, and then stay at home. You can go for a jog around the block. Ain't no one stopping you from that. But be away from other people, because you don't know if you're carrying it and that can transfer to someone, or someone else is carrying it that can transfer to you.
And another thing, being that I'm in this profession, I'm telling you now, you guys wearing these gloves, yes, they protect you, but you got to also remember, when you touch things with gloves and you touch another surface, you're spreading the germs that are on the glove. Be very careful about that. Gloves protect you, yes, but they don't protect the surfaces that you touch with that glove. So if you pick something off of the ground with gloves, don't go and touch another surface or something. Either take them off, don't wear them at all, or just make sure you got a bunch of gloves where you can take them off and keep putting on extra ones. Do not keep using the same gloves. That is very unsanitary. That's the quickest way germs spread, and people don't even realize that.
Kimberly says thank you.
Yes, because she preached it on her Facebook page, cross contamination. So yeah, it's serious out here, fellas. But don't live it. But I will say this: before we get off, don't live in fear though. Still do what you got to do. Still do what you got to do. But like Boom said, be courteous and careful. Yeah. I know I kind of ran into bullheaded because my therapist said we're at this point now where we don't like being told what to do, but sometimes you gotta listen because it could be life or death. But don't live in fear though. Don't live in fear. Still do what you got to do. But be careful, because I've seen it take people out. Take people out. So that's all
and you spread it. It really does spread. I went to bed and it was 81 cases where I was in South Carolina. I wake up and go to work the next day. They tell me over 400, almost 500. I say, hey, what the fuck is going on? Do y'all not listen? Right. Do you not read? Yeah. Like it was just 81 cases. I go to sleep. all of 12 hours, get up and come back to work, and it's almost 500, almost
So
500. That is something.
Just imagine like you saying it's 500 where you at. Just imagine like cities like New York, LA, where it's
New
dense.
York is doubling the count every single day.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
not
dense.
like 21 something like right
It's
now?
like 21. It's
2100
like
almost.
2100. It's like 2100. It's and you know New York is very like
Condensed.
it's
Compact,
condensed.
Densely
Yeah,
populated.
yeah, it's
I'm
very
telling you
condensed.
now. I'm telling you, and like you said, don't live in fear. I told you I'm not living in fear. BHHS all day long. It's still going down. But I mean, I may have to put a little postpone on a 2-hour delay or
Well,
something.
they already
The way everything's spreading, you got to be careful.
they already postponed sundress season, so I'm a little discouraged because they postponed sundress season. So, but
They lying. It's still that. You gonna sound like I just seen something. I just seen somebody in sundress earlier. You did it. They lying.
Well, the women, they're wearing sundresses, but they're wearing them in the house.
Hey, as long as I get to see it on Instagram, I'm good. I don't have to see it in purpose. As long as I get to see it, period. It ain't canceled. I refuse. I refuse.
Oh, hey, look. Like I said,
you're gonna see it on Facebook. You're gonna see it on Instagram, TikTok.
Sundress season ain't over, dog.
Like I said,
I'm telling you, it's just like BHHS. We out here. It ain't going nowhere.
If it gets canceled, man, I'm gonna be like Tony Baker. I'm gonna get Corona the serious skibbity paps, man. I'm gonna get serious skibbity paps, bro.
Hey, New York has over 25,000 cases.
That's crazy, man.
And I was planning a trip out there, to partake in the BHHS. I think I'm gonna have to put that on hold. Like, really, that's a screeching stop right there. I'm good. I'll catch y'all later in New York whenever I can. I can't catch the Rona right now. That's gonna put me at odds right now. So I wish them well. I really wish them well. That is crazy. It's sad to see. Not only just how many. How many athletes and just regular people that's just out there like,
hey, look, what's the name? I just read it. Slim Thugger, the rapper, he's contracted it. He's contracted corona, and also since we're on the sports thing, they pushed back the Wilder Fury fight because of it. So it's not going to.
First of all, I wasn't going to watch Wilder get his ass beat again in the first place, so I didn't even care that was even a thing. I'm not watching that anymore. Unless he miraculously learned how to box, and I wasn't watching it.
But the only reason why I said it is because I know Earl Spence and Bud has been talking about fighting the end of this year or next year. They might as well just wait till next year to do it. I don't want that fight to get messed up, so maybe they should just wait till next year to do it. So, but with that being said, we had a good show tonight. We kind of ran over a little bit. I see my producer peeking ahead in, so we're about to wrap it up in a little bit. So, producer, you want to say anything before we leave, or are you good?
No. Go wash your hands before you get on this mic.
Right. Go ahead, LD.
What did you drink?
Oh, it's milk.
Milk. I just had milk and cookies.
Go ahead, LD.
No, but I just really wanted to say thank everybody that's listening. We had some technical issues, so if you are listening, it wasn't us. Facebook and StreamYard are having a lot of issues right now.
It's the Rona.
So thank you if you listen. Right?
It's the Rona. It's the Rona, man.
Yeah, Mike having issues now. We are having issues. It's going,
Yeah, we went from 42 viewers to 8, and I was like, well, damn. Rona said, "Fuck that." Y'all ain't gonna be talking about me on the air, and I'm gonna cut y'all off. I'm gonna cut y'all off.
That's exactly what happened. But,
yeah.
Please catch our show. My biggest thing is there's a woman show, and it's a champagne conversation. When I mean woman, it's me, Kim, and Nikki. We are going to be on this Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. this conversation is going to be something that men probably want to hear about. And if you're a good guy and you want to know why you always get pushed away, this is the show that you need to listen to. It is Why Do Women Push the Good Guy Away All the Time?
I might take
Uh,
off of work for that.
I will definitely be watching. I am off. I will definitely be watching that because I got some people that need to hear this. I'm gonna stream it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this on the TV. I'm gonna call all my homegirls. Like, hey, it's movie night. Sit your ass down and watch this right now.
Yeah, so please watch it. We're hopefully StreamYard is up and kicking.
I
So
think
we
I
can
think
be.
StreamYard got the wrong. We got to check on that. I think
No,
StreamYard.
they said it's actually Facebook. I wrote
Well,
it and I
Facebook got
wrote
the
in this
wrong.
group. It's actually Facebook has the coronavirus. I think too many
Well, I
motherfuckers
think
are on
Facebook got
right
the. I
now.
think they got the wrong too. So, but
Yeah, it's probably a team effort, But I did talk to them. Like I said, it's going to be raw. Like Kim said, it's going to be raw. It's going to be live. We're not going to sugarcoat anything. Just like the guys don't sugarcoat on Red Cup Rants, we don't sugarcoat anything as well. It's not it's just a different atmosphere. It's not about sports. It's just about regular day life. And then my parting shot that I really want to say is I love y'all, like for real. Like, and I love my family and I love everybody. It's not really a parting shot. It's just a shout out to everybody that listens, to everybody that is my family, everybody that keeps us going because
Oh, I thought you were
this
talking about us.
and you too, jerk face, all y'all, all y'all. I do. I love all y'all because right
LaDonna,
now, this is all we got.
LaDonna,
That's all we
get
got.
your friend. She's showing out right now.
You said all these rag wearing hoes. Now hold on, you got to come up with another word. Now I resent the word "hoe." Come on, now that's a part of
Hey, Kim,
Kim,
use Snoop's
Kim.
funky
I can't
dog.
do nothing. I can't do nothing about Kim. I can't. I can't
use
do
harlot
nothing.
or tramp. Don't use hoe. That's a part of my.
All I know is I'm gonna be at work Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday whenever y'all do it, and I'm definitely gonna be tuning in at work. So I'm definitely gonna be listening. So
Yeah,
Yes,
you
but like I
can't.
said,
Yeah,
thanks.
you will be able to tune in. It's not like you do much. I'm gonna get that out there.
consider with this COVID-19, I ain't really doing shit.
Oh, 'cause we know you wasn't doing nothing before you got here.
You know what?
Uh,
Let LaDonna finish. Let LaDonna finish.
Okay, but
That
like I
should have been my
said, thanks
parting
for
shot.
everybody. No, but this thanks for everybody that's listening. Please check us out. I'm hoping that our other show, the Hodgepodge Show, will have a show this Saturday. Think of something. And of course, we have Beyond the Stigma every Sunday night. And then me and my husband need to throw on a cowboy show around here somewhere just to
Please do.
say we did one. Because there's a lot of cowboy stuff that we have not spoken about. We should have did it last weekend, but we were being home business owners and making sure that our
Gotta take care of home first.
HOA
Take
our
her
HOA would
home
not.
first.
What's our show called?
Yeah,
You want to say? You
Either
want to
one
say
of
it?
either one of y'all. Boom, you the MVP. You the rookie of the year MVP. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Come on,
Oh.
MVP.
the chain reaction with boom. There it is. On the
Chain
screen.
reaction with boom is that's what that's called. The show on Thursday is called Champagne Conversations. Like I said, everything will be on this will be on here, and it will also be on Strictly Prohibited Network on our Facebook. You can find us on Facebook. You can find our Strictly Prohibited Network YouTube. That's where you'll find the links. So please come check us out, like check them all out because that's where all our shows are going to be on. You'll find them here. You'll find them, or you'll find them on Strictly Prohibited Network. That's the two links that you'll find. I said, or even if you're on Facebook, find us Strictly Prohibited Network. We do have a Facebook page and we do have just a Facebook group as well. But that's all I really wanted to say. And peace out to all the
Subscribe. This is what we do. That's the
Yeah.
brainchild right there in that upper left to the next the right of the left of Mike. That's the brainchild of the network right there. That's our executive producer. She keeps us in line when we get too rowdy. And then down below her is her crazy ass husband. the MVP, and then them two right there, my knuckleheads. We're all knuckleheads.
Oh, I'm
We're all
far from a
knuckleheads.
knucklehead. You cut that out. The most mature thing in this group. You cut it out.
He might have a point.
Phil,
Man,
you got
Phil might have a
Hold
point.
on, hold on. I want to ask Phil one question before we. I want to ask Phil one question before we get off the air. You got your keys?
I always got my keys.
Hold on.
And got my 9 too while you at it.
Phil, we got a question for him. Who cleaned your oven?
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, actually, Dexter cleaned it this time, and I shout out to my bro Dex. I know he's trying to get his stuff together, but he'll be back. Oh, and another shout out to my boy Matt. I know he didn't really check in tonight. He kind of was in and out, but he's another part of this network. So I'm waiting on him, Phil, and Mike, and Dex to do this wrestling show because I'm really wanting to be tuned into that. So definitely waiting on that. So
no, but for all y'all, thank you for listening.
Yep. Oh Lord, let's get off the air because Mike.
Exactly, Mike. I don't know what Mike talking about. Wait.
Singing. I don't know what that was.
Before we leave.
You ain't gotta know. Just put out your 5 shit.
But next week.
You'll be talking about forwards and centers. You'll be talking about all 3 positions. If you want to do small forward, but you could do forwards and centers.
And I will honor my bet to my BFF next week. So
I just want to announce next week I will not be a part of the show. I refuse to hear. I'm not going to subjectify myself and listening to him trying to scream all day. I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going all day. I only need like 30 seconds.
It's only
30 seconds.
Give me 5 seconds. I can deal with 5.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
That's all I'm saying. Hey, I'm honored to bet. I'm honored to bet. So I tell you what, Mike.
No, we will do no shit like that.
Mike and Phil, when I get ready to sing, just stop your camera and go take a break.
No.
Go take a break.
No, I'm with Phil on this.
Hold on, you was just squealing 2 seconds ago impromptu.
I know you.
That don't mean I want to hear Dre. That don't mean I want to hear Dre.
When Dre start, all you gonna see is this right here.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
Stop the cam. Stop the cam.
Stop the cam for a second.
But I gotta honor my bet because baseball season. They said mid-May they're trying to start, so I want to honor my bet before then.
They told my girl and the Cardinals June 1st. So that's
June
just
1st? So they just moved it again?
They told St. Louis Cardinals staff that's the next time they'll be working is June 1st.
Is that worldwide? Is that league-wide?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's like the first game that they'll be playing, is June 1st, or that's going to be the first home game they'll be playing. I don't know if we'll be playing away first and then come in there, but they told them June 1st.
And they talking about playing the whole season, so that's going to push the World Series to what, November?
Yeah.
They ain't got shit to do anyway.
Well, I'm just saying, in St. Louis, St. Louis hockey and baseball is right by each other. So St. Louis will be very packed downtown.
So y'all just forget that football season is going to be popping off around the same time, right?
Look, I'll be watching football.
November is the heat of the playoff run, getting ready for the playoff run.
He just better hope that my Cardinals aren't in the playoffs because somebody would not be watching it down here.
I go to the meter.
Oh, you actually going to use that? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, but all I know is I will be in Arlington. I will be in Arlington when the Braves and Rangers play, so I'll be there for that. So
yeah, I'll go and support my Cardinals.
Well, I already talked to KG, and I told him he said he'll be there. So, but with that being said, man,
September 12th. If the fight is still going on, we are so going to it. Canelo fight.
Well, it all depends. It all depends.
If it's still going on, if it's still happening and everything, it's going down.
But it all depends.
Birthday shenanigans.
It all depends on the Errol and the Errol Spence and the Bud Crawford fight when that happens.
Yes.
Because I'd rather go see that over the Canelo Triple G fight.
Well, I understand, but I still might go because that's birthday shenanigans.
So, but with that being said, man, let's get up out of here, man. We already ran up 3 hours of StreamYard. That's why probably they shut us down. So, but everybody said, I appreciate y'all listening to us, man, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Peace.
Yo.
I'm gonna be